as they would say. So I'm going to see if you. There are probably two maps. Just the first one would be the wormhole routes map. You can click on that, and we're going to start at Bogus Blue. I think Conrad added some start and end, but those were for the last time we played. But it's still appropriate. We're going to start at Bogus Blue, but it's the Vote Star Ward map that you guys need to grab. Vote.
Are we starting over as far as make rolls and things like that?
You are, and we're going to count how many clevers we have and all of that. And
okay, so I go back to no make rolls having been used. Okay,
that is correct. Brand new mission.
And I had a PM tally of 8
at
the land.
Okay.
Do you?
And just keep it at 8. We won't worry about rolling for it.
Okay.
As a.
You said the other one we need is a Vote Star Ward or something.
You had a proxy. Oh yeah, the Vote Star Ward is the actual tab that you're going to need. And I should have shared that with everyone. Hopefully everyone has seen that.
Yeah.
And the deck appears to be running, so we'll test that in just a moment. Now on the squad overview, I know I'm fierce and Tony is fierce. Any other fierce we have from the two other players in the group? I don't think so, because I think you're both Terrans, right?
I'm Terran.
Here we go.
I'm inventive and spirited.
And there's two inventives.
Inventive and spirited.
Spirited from me. A couple of durables from the group. Yeah. And
I'm inventive and spirited.
Inventive and spirited, yeah, I think I marked that. And then I think we only have 2 inventives. Tony and I are both crews. We don't have the inventive. We don't have Mike. We don't have Laura. The Skia seems to have all of them. But those 2 inventives would basically give us our ship PAV back, as well as the beep and ping alarms. We say yay to that. And also we have a couple of inventives being able to keep us from losing.
And publicity to level up to 5.
3 inventives.
I need a huge amount. I think I'm going to need 7. We're going to start on the Star Wars map. And essentially we have... I hear Conrad in the background, I think.
He said 3 inventives, yes.
Right, let's add a third inventive to because that may come in handy for this little sort of interlude mission. And I'm going to start you off with this little extra priority assignment. We hate those. Right before we actually go on our main mission, we're supposed to protect the integrity of the upcoming elections for Star Ward on the capital system of Bogus Blue. Now, as it says here, nobody should be advocating for any candidate within 100 AUs of the polling places. Now, no one remembers it actually being that big an area. They thought it was 100 yards of the polling places. But the latest legislation has come up, and it says AU, and it's been interpreted as AU. So that means all campaigning across Bogus Blue must come to an end when the election is starting, when the polling is starting. And so they want you guys to hang out and just make sure that that's being complied with. And as it says in here that
with the campaign button, right?
In the campaign button, I'm not sure which we're talking about, Fred.
We see someone with a campaign button.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to confiscate all the candidate buttons, all the tear down the posters and everything else. As I wrote in this, that your reticle for your gun sight on your heads-up display is orange whenever you don't have an appropriate target. It doesn't prevent you necessarily from firing in the rules of engagement, but bad things can happen if they call that an unjust kill. And
I'm gonna take a vision test and lie in colorblind.
Yeah. And Green Space Party has been pelting you guys with cabbage, and the Chimer farming co-ops are weeping for the slain young ones that are being thrown at you. Now, the key issue, of course, as it is in most debates, is dental care. And the candidates, Rose and Walker, have been debating whether or not pre-existing conditions on dental care should be covered. Rose has emphatically stated that the cost of anything for the immortal population resulting from health care is going to be a negligible cost, to which Walker has argued logically that with the nearly infinite number of humans in the galaxy, that any even negligible cost would turn into something astronomical. I guess 0 times infinity is 1 in some mathematical circles. Other candidates polling 0 have made comment that most of the human population does not have enamel teeth, so this issue only affects the Terrans, and the debate has been continuing for several thousand years. You guys are in the executive branch, so to speak, and the Hatch Act will apply, which means you guys cannot actually support any candidate yourself. But now how that isn't interpreted is entirely up to you and up to the candidates on whether they're going to file any sort of charge on you. You're immediately contacted by J.W. Walker for the Committee for Better Tooth Polish, and he says that if you can help swing the election in his favor, he can make it worth your while. The other candidates that are competing are Cosicius Nerva, and he would essentially be a crime lord, although not even the organization of criminal syndicates want him to be elected Star Ward. And then you have the Natural Filthy Party, Smile Party of Juliana Rose, and Greenspace is another candidate that is polling well. And finally, Chief Cherub is always a candidate on most of these ballots, especially in write-in candidates.
It's going to be very difficult for me because I'm a member of the Chick Cartel, Greenspace, Battleborn, Mace Design, and Journeyman Cartel.
You got a huge amount of peroxidity, so yeah, you could end up offending a lot of different people. But my guess is you, by staying neutral, you're not going to offend anyone. It's whether or not you can pick up another proxy this mission, Fred. The Chief Cherub is, if Chief Cherub is actually elected, he would have to step down from the Battleborn. So nobody wants to see that. That would be a negative consequence. Coincidentally and oddly, because we wouldn't have much of a game if we didn't have some sort of odd going on, is that there is a new candidate, Scortus of Solar Chasm, is the first Skia ever to run for the position of Star Ward. Now, Star Ward is only a ceremonial position. It has no real power. Although they argue if Coscia Nerva, the crime lord, wins, he could have his proxy pardon him, because I think that's still on the books, they're saying. Now, none of these candidates are actually present in system. That would change the game in a major way. What they're doing is they've all have appointed electors to take their place. And so the system itself is just voting for electors to go and decide who will actually be Star Ward of the galaxy. As you were greeted by Scortus's minions, they say the Battleborn absentee ballot. They hand you each an absentee ballot, which you can fill out and send in at your time. And if you decide not to vote for one of the 5 major candidates now, since Scortus is also on the ballot, then you're going to please caucus your write-in correctly. So if you note the R's are for A's or actual R's, who knows? It's the bureaucracy has just slowly become unusable in era 10. Now,
so I got a quick question about this. By them appointing electors at each, for every single Star Wars candidate, and them being here, doesn't that constitute campaigning?
Well, and funny you should say that. The electors supposedly are supposed to have met with the candidates, and though some of them have not actually met with the person they're representing in proxy in a long time, and some of the electors are people that were before pacification, they were vibrant political figures. Now they're taints and have no interest in actually campaigning or giving a speech or breaking the law in any way, shape, or form. Now, are they actually breaking the rules? Well, once the caucusing starts, and the people are gathering into their individual areas to be counted, their votes are counted by head count in this system. It was decided that the internet, or I should say the matrix, is too corrupted at this time. They just do a physical head count. When that happens, you need to shut down the 2 rallies for Rose and Cherub. And it's probably better if you shut them down ahead of time. Hence the map. You can see the 2 wormholes. You can either go from the north one or the south one and enter the system. I would not advise you land the Dauntless Perisher on the system, even though there is a shuttle base you can land at. because it would probably be impounded for various reasons. So the first choice, let me grab a character here to just represent the party. And I'm not sure who I grabbed. I grabbed, if I can get a name on it. It's not giving me a name. Oh, Mars. Oh, Conrad. Okay, so Conrad, your character will just represent the party. I put you at the north, but you certainly can land at the south. Don't make me decide that.
Which tab are you on?
I'm on the Vote Star Ward tab, Rusty.
Okay, got it. Vote Star Wars.
Now, again, you're met at the docks by a robot representative of Scortus, and he has tells you that according to latest polls, there is an 87% chance that Scortus, the Skian, is going to be elected. He's really doing well amongst the robot population. All right, everyone follow what needs to be done. You guys are going to stop 2 political rallies and stop the campaigning once the caucusing starts.
Does Cherub actually want to be Star Ward?
No, because if he actually is elected Star Ward, he has to leave the Battleborn. I see. Okay. So that would be a negative if you find that and right now he's polling at around 1 or 2%. And if the crews are allowed to vote as well, but they usually get motivated only at the very end because they can't follow the political process from day to day. This is mostly a Terran thing. It's odd that the Skian would show up at all to run this, and the Chimer don't vote.
Why not?
I see.
Well, because they find it's unmanly to vote. You should not be deciding who leads by a system of plurality. That no, you should fight to the death, and the only person left should be the one that should lead. It doesn't make any sense unless you're a Chimer. We don't have Mike here to describe why that would make sense. So, Conrad, I'll start. Oh, Rusty, I'll start with you as I always do. Would you like to land at the north or south starport? And do you have the map on your screen now?
I do. So the north is in the north west, and the south is in the southeast, right?
Yep, it's just on opposite corners.
Okay.
Now,
well, we'll go to southeast.
Southeast, and just to make sure that we don't taint everyone's idea of how the scale of this thing, the only points of the planet I'm going to reveal are the ones that are important. There are only 2 skyhook rails off of Bogus Blue, but the system itself would probably have thousands and thousands of tiles to explore. You're only going to go through the ones that politically matter to you at this moment. All right, you've landed at the south, and Rusty, from this direction, let me grab a little. You can actually go north, or you can go west from here. West takes you to a military sort of check-in post, and north is labeled as people who live here only. So it's restricted to people who have residence here only. So you can go through the residence entrance, or you can go over to the checkpoint and get yourself a pass. And you go straight up into the. Okay, and I'm gonna.
We don't need no stinking pass. We're part of the enforcement here.
Yes.
Wow.
We're going to where there's going to be illegal propaganda campaigning.
I'm trying to find my opening here, and if I can make it a little bit bigger for us as well. And you can see now that you have a couple of different choices here. The default took you right to the shuttle bay because you are not allowed, and the transportation system would not take you in any other place but the emergency egress or to the shuttle bay where it just assumes that you have a ship there. If you want to travel elsewhere on this area through this little tiny crossroads of high-speed rail, you would need to go to the check-in post, Rusty. So what is your decision on that?
Check-in post.
It goes to the checkpoint. I tell you, if I don't lead you guys by the nose, you're never going to get to where I want you to be.
I'm sorry about that. You shouldn't have put me in charge first.
No, I'm
You
teasing.
needed somebody more malleable.
All right, when you get there, we have a fight because as soon
Or
as
a
the
bigger
G-saw,
nose.
we all know what these things are, right? We hate that.
It's a fight. Okay.
Yeah, the G-saw are actually the ones defending the planet. They see the Battleborn as a intrusive outsiders that should not be in their system, and so here's the way this is going to work. The more times you run into them, the higher the defensive modifier is going to become. Right now it's 0, but the next time you meet the G-saw, they're going to be a little bit more, ready for you guys. Now, you officially have no jurisdiction inside of Bogus Blue. You're told to go back to Luna and just rest on that slag heap. If there's anything you need to do, you can tell them to do it. And you guys have the option, and I'll go over to Conrad for this. I got you, Conrad,
The
correct?
tab that had our map disappeared.
The vote Starward map disappeared?
It disappeared,
Yep.
and we ended up in wormhole routes.
Ah, that's interesting. That let me share it again. We gotta see all sorts of anomalies on this.
Well, I just want to point out this must be a very important, a truly important mission because they actually rolled out the Blessed Luna for this.
Blessed Luna. We love
They
Blessed
usually
Luna.
don't do that. That's usually in mothballs and elsewhere.
Well,
Blessed Luna, the slag heap.
it's your Blessed Luna, what's left of it. Now, when you guys enter this, they refuse to give you the pass to travel in this area. They say if you under the pretense of going to the sporting events at the arenas, I can open that up for you. You guys got the map again, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You guys can actually travel to the arena without permission. I just opened that up to show you where it is. If you go to the North Skyhook, you can actually go to the arena without having permission. But in order to get permission to use this rail, you're going to have to put the smackdown on these guys. If you decide not to have the fight, to delay, you're going to suffer a point of insanity from the humiliation. So what's it going to be, Conrad? The choice is yours. Do we enter battle, defensive modifier of 0, but it's going to slowly build? Or do we wait on the fight and suffer the point of insanity instead?
Let me check my character sheet to see what I need, which all good things are. I don't know where it went. I would say we're going to give them the smackdown.
I need battle myself, so.
Yeah, I need battle. Let's give them the smackdown.
Okay.
Heroics.
Let's make this as a 4 and the number that we have to fight. Is anyone level 5?
I am.
Okay, let's make this a 5. It's going to be 5 people that we need to defeat with the regular combat rules. And going to the regular combat rules, we all remember that you're going to need a someone doing a sail, someone doing dock, and someone doing leadership. And we will slip over with Conrad making that decision to Fred. Fred, you have the 8 different actions that you can do. Would you like to assail? Would you like to? I'll cover your DOC, and I'm sure Rusty will cover your command. If you want to assail, or do you want to a regular? Do you want a brash?
Let's go brash.
Brash. Okay, here it comes. How about a 7 Bane? And suddenly, Conrad, the card flipper's not working for me again. Let me close it out and.
Working for me.
We saw the 7 Bane.
7
okay.
in politics. Yeah, Bane.
Let me try opening it up again.
It did say read by, but anyway.
And hitting the cards a few times just to test.
It's
now
6,
it's back.
a 2,
Okay.
a 5.
7, Conrad. Sorry, a 7, Fred. We're not going to take that away from you. Go ahead and
I've pasted it.
And read it out for us.
All right, let's give this thing a second to load up here. Inverted Bane, strike tough and successfully fail or vicious with +1 PM tally. Difficulty 9, advantage, savvy, blitzkrieg, D, which I don't have. So what I need here, 9 on 2 dice. And I fail.
9 on 2 dice. You have fallen with a vicious wound and added 1 to your PM cycle. Not exactly the most auspicious way to start. I go to
Unless
Tony.
you're rugged. Unless you're rugged.
Durable. He's a Terran. I do not believe he's got these rugged, durable traits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, let's see, the trooper here. I gotta go back to my combat abacus. So that was, what did Fred go before he fell?
He went brash.
Brash.
You went brash. Okay. Well, let me see. I guess I need to go. I guess I will go a sail.
Here comes your card. How about a maiden card?
A maiden, a sail.
Never go brash.
A sail maiden. Sensing a decline in the morale, improve the mood, unwrap a snack, or voice some egghead observation. Success to safety retreat, or remove one person shaken and pinned. Difficulty 10, advantage trait inventive. I am not inventive. But I get 2 attempts, and I failed both times.
You failed both times. You do not need to safely retreat or shaken. And if we, the only advantage, if we get ourselves an ability to take a calculated action, I will allow us to retroactively remove that wound from Fred, since it was the first roll of the game. It'll be a little blessing. But we'll see what happens. You have failed both. No, there's no disadvantage for failing since
Never go a sail.
And I'm going to go my DOC now. DOC is going to be a King Stellar in Bane. It says, delve your imagination for team motivation. Fail and lose a swaggering. Trait inventive, I am not. 10 on 2 dice. That's a tough roll. Who wrote this game? 10 on 2 rolls. No, I missed. So I have lost a swaggering.
I thought you said have 2 rolls.
No. I'm actually only level 4, Rusty. Thank you.
Okay.
I will lose my tin head safety override D. But wait, there's more. The squad overview, somebody with their inventive trait steps in and saves me from losing that, and so now there's only 2.
Tony didn't really do egghead observation before.
Yeah, no.
A peanut is neither a pea or a nut, it's a bean. Just thought I'd throw that out there, some role play excitement.
Okay.
It is not something that yes.
How extremely helpful to you. Thank you.
It was some role play excitement for you.
We had another person trying to add into the game. I wonder who we got here. Oh, Iron Greg. Gosh, does anyone have Greg's Skype phone number that can dial him in? Tony, do you have that by any chance?
I don't know. I don't think so, but allow me to look.
Okay, if you could get him in, and we'll say, howdy, Greg.
I do not.
And I will go on to Rusty.
To join call.
Rusty, did you want to give a leadership for us, a command?
Yeah, command. Yes.
How about an inverted martyr? Gosh, all the bad cards are coming out.
An inverted martyr. Oh, how pleasant.
Bane. Okay. Who decided to fight these guys?
He did command or DOC, I'm sorry.
I already
command.
did DOC. He did command.
Okay. And it was an inverted martyr.
Inverted martyr.
Never go command. That's what I've learned. There you are.
I wanted to just be, a techie, but I couldn't. Okay, fight a paralyzing desire to weep in remembrance of a fallen comrade. Enemy must be funky, right? Fail and vicious plus 1 PM tally, regardless route with the method locked as defensive. Okay.
There goes our commander over the hill.
There's no more command. And let's see, advantage funky reinforced synapses R. Okay, R. And I do not have that.
We can cover it with the ship if you want to use the break room coffee. We can also cover it with our proxy for the Journeyman Cartel, either or.
Oh yeah, we have the Journeyman Cartel. So I'll roll 3 dice. Let's see. Do I want to pick up funky? No. Not for a 10.
Okay.
Not when
Greg
it's going to be a
call now.
vicious. Okay, and I made it.
Of course you did.
Terrific, Rusty.
Good
You
job.
did not fail with your vicious and PM. Greg, do we got you on
Now, I
Skype?
still have to do
It says he's
defensive.
unavailable.
Ah,
Said he was waiting, and then I clicked him in.
well, you guys can handle that as we go in the background. As we move around, I go to Conrad. What would you like to do? We've already done all of our different things.
And they were all bad, I should mention.
Well,
So
yes.
I think a sale is the only way to go.
Okay, how about if I give you a
Having
3
not-
Bane?
Having not learned that. Bane? Holy moly.
What a surprise.
Hey, there's only 5
Rusty.
guys left.
Red
Rusty,
shuffled
please,
this.
man.
Red
Think of
shuffled
Hot Chow
this.
as your command debates whether there's too much responsibility on your plate. Fail and suffer a vicious plus. All pips are reset. The good news, of course, is that we have no pips.
That's right.
Difficulty 9, advantage Savvy Warhorse, which is I do have Savvy Warhorse.
Terrific.
I can either roll 3 dice, or I can lock it at Glorious. Right? That's my 2 choices. By
You
rolling
sure
2
can,
dice.
and you could use a make roll if you wished.
And it's the beginning of the mission. I think I shall use a make roll. Let's do that.
Okay. So you do not suffer the vicious wound. You pick up Savvy Warhorse locked as Glorious. Greg, any chance you can hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Oh, terrific.
Woohoo.
Welcome. We're playing near a 10, as I think you can see from the board. We're essentially trying to make sure that all campaigning for the election for Star Ward on Bogus Blue ends before they actually start caucusing and people go to the 4 corners of the planet for the head count. This thing takes decades to actually resolve, by the way. But you can go ahead and I'm going to flip a card for you after I ask you the all-important question. We are in combat now against 5 people. We've gone a full round without injuring any of them. It's been ugly. One person even took a wound. I lost a swaggering, which I could have lost a swaggering if somebody
No
wasn't
injuring the
defended.
bad guys.
Would you like to go brash, irregular, assail, command, DOC, funky power? How would you like to engage in this battle, sir?
I think we need a new command since Rusty.
Rusty's running away, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so brash then.
You never go brash.
There you go, brash. How about a knave?
That's good. That's
It's not
names are always
it's
good,
not a
aren't
Bane,
they?
at least. Conrad's
I'm
posted
sorry.
it.
I've got the.
All right, I got it. Brash Knave Valor. 1-2 blast the buckle from his shoe. 3-4 shoot round a corner through a door. Success for dispatch. Fail and pinned. Player going forward. Player treats brash method as Bane. Difficulty 7. Advantage Savvy Gun Honcho. So where is Savvy Gun Honcho? Is that?
That is it is a savvy swaggering. It's type N. We actually have proxy in the Battleborn. If you want to use the Battleborn proxy to cover an N swaggering, you certainly can. Otherwise, 2 dice for a 7 to pick it up.
2 dice for a 7 to pick it up sounds like a pretty good opportunity. So why don't I try?
Do you
to pick
actually
it up?
have a character, Greg? One.
Oh yeah, Glory Hawk.
Terrific.
The dog. Okay, here we go. 2 dice.
Big 7.
Wow, look at that.
Wow. Yeah,
Always go brash. Always go brash. That's what I've said.
Wow,
Since
always go
Always
brash.
go
That's
brash.
terrific.
Always,
So
always,
he is
always.
he is not pinned. Greg, is your character Cruz?
I think we should run on the policy that everyone should go brash.
And you
Is my
picked up
character
Gun
Cruz?
Honcho there,
Yes.
Greg. You
Yep.
are now a Gun Honcho.
I am a honcho of the gun. All
The
right.
Honcho the gun. Fred has fallen in battle. Fred, you have the option of standing back up and fighting. It's up to you. I would say probably just wait this out for the moment. But
Yeah,
We'll
you
wait
might
around.
get
We'll see what happens.
how do I go to
I'm
Tony
paying
then?
attention.
Tony, what would you like to do, sir?
I guess I need to do the assail so we don't lose that. So
How about a 10? Bane.
and it's Bane, of course. Thank you.
Somebody's going to need to do command. Eventually.
Inverted Bane. Wait clandestinely for relief. Confident your buddies won't abandon you. Yeah, right. If you're
Where's the abandoned button? Where?
it's the largest button on the suit is the abandon button.
No, that's the double abandon.
Oh,
yeah. If you urgently radio for help, you'll broadcast your position in weakened state. Fail and shaken. Difficulty 7. Advantage skill. Risigorgimento or Patriot. I think I may have dropped Risigorgimento. No,
What?
I did not drop that one. Well, I've at the start of this mission, since we're trying to just do talking stuff, I changed all my skills.
He
As
has
you
the
can
option as a
as
cruise to
a,
redo his skills every
yeah.
mission.
Come on. You got to take advantage of the game, right?
No one ever drops
He
Resorgamento.
has usually
Come
picked
on,
very
no one
well.
ever does that.
But I do have that one. So here we go. I have succeeded.
You have succeeded easily, so you're not shaken, but we still have made no progress in this battle. I will do my DOC again. Proudly do my DOC. Damn, it's a Bane Queen. A Bane Queen, long for a chivalrous age where officers weren't the first ones shot and gutted. Those dang G-Saw. Fail and suffer vicious. Difficulty of 8. Internal baffling T. I do have internal baffling T. I will not try to lock it as glorious. I will roll 3 dice. And I have made my 8. I have fulfilled our DOC for the round, and I did not suffer the vicious. Rusty is doing defensive. Here comes your card, Rusty.
Never go
A
defensive.
5 Bane.
Jeez, who shuffled these cards?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a
man.
lot of Banes we've been seeing.
Go native. Blend with the taints. Third-party civilians, hallway promotional posters.
Oh, can't do that.
Store mannequins, tin heads on strike, etc. Fail and suffer a vicious wound. I'm retreating.
This is not a proud moment for you, Rusty. You're not only are you running away from your command here from us, but you're now trying to hide with the civilians.
Oh my
Act like-
gosh!
Trying to act like
Advantage
a mannequin.
funky chameleon skin C. Let's see. I am a funky chameleon skin C.
Okay, 3 dice
Okay.
for 12.
3 dice for a 12. Jeez.
And you have made it. So you
Defensively,
do not need to. Yeah, even though you're hiding amongst the civilians in the area.
defensively suffering a vicious wound when I'm running away. So sad.
Yes. Well, that Bane 5 is not a good one.
The
You can
armor's
actually
not
look
as
at the
good on-
table. The defensive here is a little bit more brutal than it is for Outlands and
The armor's not
Cutlass.
as good on the backside of your armor.
Conrad, we will be -1 to our dice roll next round if you do not take command actions right now.
This is like a key moment in the storytelling here, where the lowly assail trooper steps up to command.
Is
Now,
there a
apparently-
negative for going from a
Yes,
sail?
I was about to mention that, and Rusty very smart with the rules. Conrad, do you have that table in front of you, or Tony?
Table of pain, I do not.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, that is from a sale. Yeah, that is a.
That's an auto Bane, right?
Mhm,
It
it's
don't
a-
matter. It's going to be Bane anyway.
It's
Here
gonna
you
be
go,
Bane
Conrad.
anyway.
Here comes your
Yeah.
auto Bane. How about a king?
Oh, it
Oh
would've been a
no! It's not a Bane.
It is
It is
now.
now.
King command for you, Bane, Conrad.
Step out of formation into friendly fire.
wrong one.
Day glow. I'm sorry.
Ignore mine.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Did you
Oh.
post wrong or did I post wrong?
I did. I posted
Okay,
it correctly.
Step out of formation into friendly fire. Dayglow, backlight coming, defensive go home. Fail and you're trapped. All defensive actions are Bane until the squad obtains Quell. Of course, we only have one defensive action. That's currently Rusty, right? Regardless, add to wear and tear towards your PM cycle. Difficulty 8, advantage skill gambler. That gambler seems like a skill that would not be something that a commander would have. And since I'm not a commander, I have it. So I'm rolling 3 dice, looking for the
3 dice for an ace, or
An
you're
ace.
outing Rusty, hiding amongst the civilians.
I believe
And of
Rusty's-
course, you don't do that. You resist that urge. I go on to Greg. Greg, we have fulfilled our command action with Conrad. We still need an assail or DOC in order to meet the 3 we're required to do the round, or you can continue your brash actions. What would you like to do, sir?
I thought Tony did
Well,
so.
I am no longer continuing my brash
I did do a
action.
sale on
That's
mine.
what sale.
And say again, you're going to continue your brash actions?
No, a sale.
A sale. Okay, we can move from brash to a sale and vice versa. Is that correct,
Yes,
Tony,
you
or not?
can. Correct, you
Okay.
can.
Here comes your sale card, Greg, and it is a 6, or is that? I'm sorry, it's a 9 Bane. Gosh, there's a lot of Banes.
Bane, yeesh. All right, somebody's putting this up.
Yep.
Okay, got it. Bane.
Wait, Conrad's at a. Oh, I'm looking at the normal one. Haha, yours not a. Of course it is. Never mind.
Okay. Signal cybernetic Lassie to get Timmy Boy out of the well. Well, good RoboDog. Fail
Timmy's
and
in the well?
Timmy's in the well. Blair going
What's the
forward.
well?
Man, this is difficulty 11, advantage tin head battle tested. End. Oh, hang on. Let me go look at that.
Shouldn't that be Walker brand well product?
Battle test.
It is Walker brand well. Do you have a tin head battle tested? On 11, you pick it up, or we can cover with the Battleborn proxy, and you can roll 3 dice.
I don't think I have anything marked here. Either that or I didn't have very many.
Okay.
So I'm going to cover it with the Battleborn proxy.
Give me 3 dice for an 11, Greg, or you're pinned.
Yeah.
Missed it by 1. Your character is Cruz. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So you're going to use your bio boost function, which is a racial trait of yours, mine, and Tony's as Cruz.
Yeah.
And you may ignore your first shaken or pinned if you wish, or you can reserve that and keep it for later. Now, pinned is for all future rolls would have to be made with only 2 dice, whether you have the advantage or not, until you're successful in making one to free yourself. Did you want to ignore the pin or not?
I'm going to ignore the pin.
That would be good, because it also a pin. Whenever you're pinned, you suffer a PM tally increase. We're going to go on to Fred. Fred, is it time to step back into battle?
Sure, why not?
And take over our command functions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here comes your card for command, Fred. It is a 9 Bane.
Bane?
Bane again. Yeah, of course.
The button must be broken. I'm sorry. Command 9 is what you said, right?
Command 9 Bane, yes.
Took over Rusty's command function. Or Bane function.
All right. Entertain the troops. All Big Bob Dope calling the sarcastic play-by-play. Fail and KO with +1 insanity. Oh, I need that. Yeah, difficulty 9. Advantage savvy. Is that a skill or is that?
That's swaggering raconteur. You can also cover with your break room coffee or your journeyman cartel.
That's under savvy.
It is under savvy, correct?
Oh, hey, I've got that glorious.
Okay, give me 3 dice for a 9, or you're knocked unconscious, and your command would end quickly. No, of course he's not. Moon Skipper is our commander. That's the way I always remember it. Tony, we have already got the.
I was the commander for a round. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm Cruz. You all look the same to me. So we're gonna go, Tony. The board is wide open to you. Did you wish to assail again?
Why not? Maybe
We're making such terrible progress. A non-Bane would be nice here. How about a 3?
Yeah. Hey, a 3 on a sale. I don't know what else. How can that be? A 3. Obey instructions obediently. Follow orders without hesitation nor doubt. Success for dispatch. Fail and pin. Regardless, gain Fury Pip. Woohoo! Difficulty 10. Advantage. Savvy Killer Instinct of a G. Let's see if I have Savvy Killer Instinct with G. I do not have Savvy Killer Instinct, and I don't have anything that will cover it either.
There's no G for the Stygian Union or optimal power, I should say, war cartel or industrialization. So yeah, you're just going to have to go for that roll. Did you want to make roll that?
You know what? Why not? Let's make roll that, and I'll pick up what's that?
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct G, not a bad one to have. The 4 is left on adversaries. My DOC action. Here I go. I got a 2 Bane. Luckily, I have a lot of these advantages, I hope. Wake the techno kids from nap time because it's time to school. Fail and change method next round. Uh-oh, I lose my DOC. Regardless, treat next half D8 card actions in the squad as Bane. That is apology. And half D8? How about a 1? Okay, so it's the next, Rusty, your next card is going to be a Bane. And
it always is anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say whatever.
Tin Head Rebootable B. I do have Tin Head Rebootable B, so I am rolling 3 dice for a 10, or I am no longer your DOC, and I have made that. I am your DOC, and Rusty, here comes your Bane card. You're doing defensive, correct?
I have to.
How about a King Bane defensive?
And it was a King Bane. How about that? Okay, be a harder target than someone or something else. Fail and suffer a vicious and add to PM tally. Difficulty 8, advantage EE suit decoy droid. Okay, let's see here. So EE suit decoy drone S. Decoy drone I have, and I'm not going to try and lock it.
3 dice for an 8.
3 dice for an 8. Made it.
Made it.
No vicious.
Conrad, we are starting the round again with you. If you wish to stay in command, you may, although Greg is also in command. I'm sorry, Fred is also in command.
Command is just putting pressure on me. It's weighing on me. I don't think I can stand it. I have to go
command,
back to a
I
sail.
believe you can go anywhere. So
back to a sail.
What about a 5?
Go. 5. I'm sorry. Did you say 5? Not Bane? There's no way that you said 5.
I sort of choked and spit-taked myself.
Yeah. Count down the days you have left in your millennium-long contract of enlistment. I mean, after having worn the mantle of command for so long, I'm considering retirement. Success for the Fury Pip. Difficulty 11. Advantage trait Spirited. Hey, I am spirited, so I need a total of an 8 on 3 dice. I'm sorry, a total of 11 on 3 dice, rather.
3 dice. Tony's the one with the Fury Pip. And it is made. I go
now
on
I have
to
the Fury Pip as well.
We have done our sail actions. Greg, did you wish to stay with the sail? Try to kill these guys.
Well, every time I get a roll here, whatever I chose becomes a player that next time it's a Bane. So a sail and Brash are both Banes for me now.
A sail or Banes for you.
So you could go to support.
Did you make that roll last time or miss that roll, Greg? I can't remember.
Oh, I mixed it. Yeah, I missed it.
Okay, you missed it. Okay, well then from a sail, where can he move, Tony?
Support, I think.
He can go freely to defensive.
That's great.
And he can go back to Brash.
Okay, so you can switch to Brash, Greg, which is another way to kill opponents.
Yes, it is, but it's also another one that's automatic Bane for me.
So you're actually 2 different categories that are auto Bane for you.
If you go defensive for 1 round, Greg, then you can switch to a lot of different ones.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Go do that.
Like
or you can take the Bane and go to the one you want to go to now. Right. Go ahead. Go to Dios or go to support. Right.
That's true. Just take the Bane.
Just take the Bane, baby. The next card's going to be a Bane anyway.
How about a 9, Greg?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
9 defensive.
Is
it a Bane by chance?
It is
no.
There you go.
Wow, I don't even know what that means.
All right, strap a rocket to your buttocks if that helps. Now is the time to be a speed demon. Success for Catbird's seat. Regardless, cancel enemy defensive modifier, so long as you remain in this method. Difficulty 6, advantage skill power generation. Let's see if I got power generation.
And you pick up Catbird seat too. There you go. That's a pretty good one to succeed on.
It should be really renamed Rocket in the Ass Seat.
And how is this politics? That's I don't know.
Defensive actions are politics.
It looks like I have power generation, so 3 dice of a 6.
3 dice for a 6 to pick up a +3 next round. You are +3 on your dice next round. I go to Fred doing our command action. Still,
yeah,
correct?
I'll continue in command. What the heck?
How about a 7 Bane? Boy, the commander is being targeted by these G-Sol. Go ahead, Fred. Somebody posted for him?
Getting you real quick here.
Yep.
Resist your urge to shelter in place, lingering in a kill zone of beefy barrage, fail and trap. All defensive actions are Bane. Unit squad obtains breach. Player going forward. Player treats command method as Bane.
Okay, we've lost our commander unless he wants a lot of Banes.
Difficulty 9, advantage, skill, bonsai, which I don't. Wait, did we rename a skill? Is that what happened here? I don't have.
So he's going to go from all Banes to all Banes. It's under the
It's in skills. It's the third
How
one.
is bonsai different from gung ho?
Gung ho is a swaggering.
So I
Not
gotta do this
yeah,
on you
there aren't
guys,
much different.
and-
They're all just basically
Made it.
cliches for combat.
Bonsai
So-
is a command as a combat skill, whereas gung ho is
Yeah.
not.
Okay, I see it now.
The result is success. You are not trapped, which is nice, but you unfortunately you are no longer able to take command methods except as Bane. So we're probably
And
gonna
the
need
stuff
to
in it, Fred. I mean, I tried it myself for I don't know.
Someone's gonna have to swap with me.
I tried it for like a
Tony,
minute or something.
would you
and
like
it's
to?
hard.
Can you move from a sail to command?
Well, I can and take a Bane.
Take a Bane.
It's a Bane for you, huh? Can
Yeah.
Can you move to DOC?
Nope, that'd be a Bane.
Okay.
what I was
Well,
thinking,
then
John.
why don't you continue to assail, sir?
Okay, I'll cover the assail then.
How about a maiden card?
A maiden. That's
Not a
gotta
Bane.
be good.
Maiden command or maiden assail, right?
Yeah, sensing a decline in morale, improve the mood, unwrap a snack or voice. Oh, wait, I think I've done this one before.
But this time I want some role play excitement.
Yeah. All right. Everyone have a Twinkie.
Yay.
Yes. Shaking. Okay. So.
You should have
success
gone with
to safely
Egghead.
retreat
Should have
or
gone with
remove
Egghead.
One person. Yeah. Difficulty 10, advantage trait inventive. I'm not inventive, so it's a 10, a 7, a 14. I've succeeded. Oh, and,
14's
I'm plus 2, so.
You're +2 on your dice. You made it on the second roll, which is great. So you do not have to safely retreat or remove. I should say what we have for success to safely retreat or remove one person shaken or pinned. You can move Rusty back into the combat sequence at command with that action. Rusty, do you
I
accept the
think so.
position?
Yes.
Okay, so Rusty's moved back to
Defensive
command.
was pretty dangerous.
I'm going to take defensive is not a pleasant place. I'm going to take my DOC action for the group.
Is thinner.
Did I finally get a card where I can do something? A 10, non-Bane. Pilot your aerial sensors in stealth mode to survey the enemy position. Success for dispatch. Regardless, cancel defensive modifier so long as you made. There is no defensive modifier, but that's nice to have. EE suit decoy drone. Do I have a decoy drone? I do. I can roll 3 dice for an 8 to give a dispatch. And I have done so. We are down to 3 opponents. Rusty, here comes your command card. A 6.
What? No Bane?
Ruh-roh. Command
Uh-oh.
6.
Yep, it's a 6 command.
Oh, my fingers went to that Bane button. So
AFK to sidestep and crush a skull. Success for dispatch. Fail and your next action's card suit decides the method. Regardless, gain command pip. Oh, okay. Difficulty 13, advantage trait spirited. And I am trait spirited. All right, let's see here. Failed.
Failed, unfortunately. I do believe the command pip in Era 10 is +1 to everyone, but only for 1 round. I'll double check that sometime. But we're going to go to Conrad. We already have, it's the start of a new round. Rusty is back at our command, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm doing DOC. Any sale?
Maybe not. My actions are determined by suit.
We may not get a commander.
The command pressure was too hard for me. I can't go back to command.
How about a sale then?
And take that Bane, so I'm going to stay with the sale.
Let's try to get those 3 dispatched in the next couple of rounds. How about an ace Bane? That's probably not going to do it for us.
That is a bad one. So, where are we at here? Distort the enemy's heat sensors by littering the area with far-flung hotspots. Fail and lose a swaggering. Difficulty 9. Advantage EE suit cycle containment. That's N as in Nancy. Let me look here. And I do not have cycle containment, N as in Nancy. I do have the Fury Pip. I'm going to use my Spirited.
There's also a command pip.
I'm sorry?
There's also a command pip.
It's a +1 for everyone.
Oh, okay. Can I use my Spirited and gain an additional Fury Pip that will dispatch one?
You already have the Fury Pip, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. If you get Fury and then Fury again, you'll dispatch one if you use your Spirited right now.
I will use my Spirited right now to do so.
Okay.
And so I'm +3 to the roll, looking for a 6 to gain the EE suit cycle containment. and 8, piece of cake.
made
So I do not lose the swaggering as well. So I picked up the skill, and we dispatched one by using our
A double fury. Okay, I'm going to go over to Greg. Greg, are you going to? You were defensive. From defensive, you can move anywhere. Irregular is another way. It's not as bad as Cutlass Irregular. It's a way of killing opponents. It just comes with a higher cost. Did you want to go to support, or did you want to step it back into the battle as a regular?
He might want to step back in as command.
That is true.
Yeah.
We do need a command as well. Greg, did you want to take your chance of on the target board as commander?
Let's do it. Let's
Okay,
do
here
it.
comes your command action. It is a Bane Maiden.
Of course.
It's already Bane,
Of
though, right?
course. Of course it's a Bane Maiden. We've seen this at command before.
Oh, recognize
It's a lonely
soldiers.
job.
Recognized soldiers gain victory as command centers take the credit. Fail and lose a swaggering. Flare going forward. All party stellar card suits are Bane, regardless of method in which they are utilized. Difficulty 10. Advantage savvy warhorse M. Can I take the savvy warhorse from the
Yes,
ship?
you may cover it with matrix codes on the ship or with green space party on the of our proxy. So you can roll 3 dice for that 10 if you wish, or you can roll 2 dice for a 10 to pick up Savvy Warhorse. I think you missed it by 1, right?
Oh! No, we had command pip.
Yeah, the command pay, but he
Command
needed,
pip,
that's only a 9.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
9.
and the catbird seed. Excuse me.
Oh,
And-
yes, with the
Yeah,
catbird
you got
seed,
it.
he makes it +4.
Oh, you should have
So
been rolling.
You
If
do
you
not
got a
lose
+4, you
swaggering.
should have just rolled it straight, Greg. You
That was
shouldn't have,
exciting.
What
I
the
forgot
super
about
are
the catbird
Bane?
seed slack I rolled, man.
It was
Oh.
exciting, Greg. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Fred, I cannot remember what we're doing. Did you want to? Greg has already done a command action.
Okay.
What would you like to do, sir?
So I guess I'll go back to Brash.
I think
Is there
you can
anybody
go from command anywhere, correct, Tony?
Yeah, that's it. Anyway.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so back to Brash. Here comes your card. How about a maiden card straight up? No
Oh,
Bane.
that's terrible. I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, maidens are not the pleasant. Neither are martyrs.
Okay, Valor, Fuge, Amin, blast the Fuge for Fuge's sake, and Fuge for all you Fujin worth. Also, uncheck the box for Fujin Tarantino in your HUD translator. Page 5, 3/4, scroll down. Success or dispatch.
There you go.
D10, advantage, EE suit, cycle containment. Got that.
3
baby.
dice for a 10. Actually, it's a 9 with the
Special.
command pip.
Okay, well, 9. Ooh, I should be able to do this.
And you have made it. And we are down to 1 opponent left before we
That was
can
exciting
grab
when I
our
had to add those dice. And I was like,
pass.
that's
Tony, a
9.
sale for you, sir?
Was that a 9?
Yeah,
Give you a
I
9.
definitely do a sale.
How about a 2 Bane?
Ah, great. A 2 Bane on a sale. Order back your drones. They look too rusted and beat to be of any service. Fail and knocked out. Difficulty 11. Advantage tin head spit polished L. Let's have a look. Do I have tin head spit polished L? I haven't even locked it glorious too. Okay. So I'm 3 dice and I'm +2, so I'm looking for a 9. Oh, and we
Plus
have
3, because you
And
also
you
have
have
the
a
command
command
pip.
pip.
Okay.
8
So I
on
have
3 dice.
succeeded. There
And
you
you
go.
made
Not-
it. You did not call back your things, but we don't win yet. DOC action for me, a martyr. Gosh, ugly cards coming up. The martyr card says, lose track of your peeps. Rotten bleeping red dot tracker. Risk prairie dogging the field of fire. Success for dispatch. Oh, that's a good thing. Regardless, gain the catbird seed in your next method. Skill of airborne. I got to be skill airborne. Why would I not be skill of airborne? I am not skill airborne. It is on my list to acquire one day after colonist, after I try farming a little while. So a difficulty of 10. I get +1 because of the command pip. A 9 on 2 dice in order to win this battle. Well, I got 4 make rolls. I'll go ahead and use one and end the battle. I'm down to 3. Okay, back on the Vote Star War map.
Did we pollute battle for taking that as an ignoble?
You definitely may take a battle for that as an ignoble for that battle.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'm going to take publicity because I'm going to let everyone know that we beat down the G-Sol.
They that might make them mad later, but sure, go ahead.
That's okay. I take it.
Can I take Ambition, Fame, Triumph for beating these people for the first time?
For just a second.
Sure. And from there, Rusty, you can see the map, and I should say it would be Rusty was the last one to take action on the big map, so we'll move over to Conrad. Conrad, we now have defeated the local security guards in this area. We have the run of the place, so to speak. Do you want to continue the way we're going, or did you wish to go back to the other skyhook rail? Did I lose you for a second, or did Mai get muted?
Who are you talking to?
Conrad.
All right.
No, I was muted for a second. I would like to exploit the gap that we have created, as in all good things.
There are two places the rail line will take you that would be new. One would be off to the sort of Garden District, which is north and then west, or you can go to the solar panel arrays to the very north. Where would you like to go?
Let's go to the Garden District first.
The Garden District.
This command pressure is just too much for me.
Take a little bit of a breather here in the Garden District. Let me draw that in.
I think there'd be less things to shoot.
There's definitely less things to shoot. In fact, there's nothing to shoot here. There's actually no intrigue and there's no action in this area. It is a totally benign place. And so
I don't believe it.
You know,
I hate it already. I can't stand it already.
If you wish to ask any questions about what's happening, I'll give you a free one, free question for you, Conrad. Is there anything nagging on you on, like, for instance, does this mission involve any monsters above the size of Godzilla? Now I throw that out as a possible question you can ask. But what would you like to know, Conrad?
So the dark horse candidate,
Scortus.
Scortus, who just
he's
arrived.
Actually not the dark horse. He's winning.
I'm sorry, but he arrived late, right, to the party. Is that what you said?
He did, yes. He is not. He's the first Skia ever to run.
Is there something suspicious about that from our perspective? Like the Skia shouldn't have run, or he's a rough roto, or
well, he is a Skia. He is a winged reptile man. He probably has funky powers. He probably is not using mind control on the populace. And Bogus Blue, they allow the taints, of course, are allowed to vote. The immunes, the few they are, several million of them, I think, on Bogus Blue are allowed to vote. Or probably not that many, several thousand. And the robots are allowed to vote as well. So basic mind control is not going to do a whole lot to the election. What specifically, ask a more direct question, and then I'll allow you to ask some clarifying questions on Scortus.
So my sense was that he's not what he appears to be, meaning either he's been altered, modified, controlled.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He would be a perfectly fine candidate and probably bring. If we decided to back him, we could maybe pick up Skymerian Cartel proxy overall.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there. Anything else you wish to ask about Scortus? Anyone else around the table?
What kind of shirt does he wear?
He probably wears a Nehru jacket, which doesn't fit his collar.
Will he bring peace to the galaxy?
I don't think that's possible for anyone here, but no, he won't even try.
Does he wear the Walker brand Nehru jacket shirt? That's what I was
No, he would be it would be a Walker knockoff, and J.W. Walker will not want Scortus to be elected Star Ward, even if it's just a popularity contest.
Well, my vote is for Cherub. But, he's going to lose.
You're going to make the head of Squad 1 step down from the Battleborn to serve in a ceremonial position? All right. I'm going to go over to Greg. You can see the little yellow guy that's in the Garden District on the map.
One moment. I don't see anything on the map. Let's see.
Are you in the
Vote Star
Star
Ward
map?
I got it. There you go.
Okay. You can move him back along the rail, the blue lines, over to the north into the solar array farms, or you can go all the way back to the skyhook rail, go back up to our ship. We'll fly to the other side of the polar ice caps on the north and descend from the north side. We're trying to reach the Rally for Rose and the Rally for Cherub as our gold objectives, but we also revealed the arena, and if you want some quick ignobles, the arena would be a good way to go.
Fred, I can't actually see anything on that map, so can you refresh it, resend it?
The Vote Star Ward map?
Yeah, it's blank for me.
Blank for you, huh?
Zoom in or out. You may be zoomed.
Yeah, you're probably in a lower corner. Go to the upper northeast corner on it, and yeah, use your plus and minus buttons at the top of your tabletop.
They're right beside the abandoned button.
Well, I'm zoomed out to 25. Let's see.
Are you well? Definitely don't zoom out. Zoom in. You want to probably be at 50%.
Yeah, 25. The thing's the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah, 25 is going to be really small.
I don't see crap, guys.
Change it to 70.
If you go over to the wormhole routes map, you can see that fine, correct? The tab.
Wormhole routes. No, that's blank too. Everything's blank for me.
Yeah, you may have to. What's probably happened is just quit the desktop and get back into it and see if everything reloads for you.
Give me a second. I'll save.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead. We'll go to Fred and we'll come back to you on the movement. Fred, do you see the yellow guy in the Garden District?
All right, what map are you on?
I'm on the Vote Star Wars map.
You're on the Asteroid Patrol map?
No, Vote Star Ward.
Oh, I see. It got
all the way to the right.
Yeah, okay.
At least on mine.
Map. Okay,
what
am I looking for here?
Yeah, the yellow guy in the Garden District. If you guys hit the little pin button and move all the way to the edge, so you can find it easily.
Okay, so we haven't been over here yet.
No, and in that direction you can't go from there. In order to get directly to that objective, you're going to either have to worm your way around by going north along the blue rail system, or go back out to the skyhook rail and go back down the other skyhook rail and see where that takes you.
That was well played, though, Fred. I must say.
I'll go south.
You're going to go south, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what you see is what you got on the south. You can go north to New Area, the solar array, or you can go back to the skyhook rail and go back over to the other skyhook rail on the upper corner of the map.
All right, I'm going to go up.
Okay.
Straight up north, I guess. Looks like no one's been that way.
Correct.
I'm blinded. All right, so after you cross the solar panel array, it's really not besides the robots maintaining the place, maybe an occasional person, but there's nothing here of any sort of anything that you need to find or explore. It's another place that I would call totally benign, but who is to say anything is totally benign? Let me open up the route from that area. You can take an auxiliary rail line used by maintenance technicians, or you can go back to the southern skyhook and go to the northern skyhook. The choice is entirely yours.
Let's try this little route here then.
Okay.
Let's try this route. You don't have to have a problem using the maintenance hatches.
And you go into the communications array that connects Bogus Blue to the outside world. If you wanted to decrypt some of the communications here, we would require a skill roll. How about if we go around the table? We'll start with Tony. Tony, what sort of information do you want to know about this scenario from the World Wide Web, or in this case, the World Galactic Web? And as you ask your questions, we'll apply a skill, swaggering, or trait to drive it home, and then we'll make you make an ordinary roll.
I would like to know what candidates are illegally what's called campaigning on Bogus Blue right now.
You want to know if any of the 4 major candidates, or 5, I should say, major candidates are actually on the system. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me a roll of a 5, sir, at your level.
Okay. Would that be
and you should have to apply a skill as well, just for giggles.
How about interrogation?
Now, interrogation, you can also use the swaggering and lock it on a roll of a 5, but you'll lose it instead if you miss the roll.
Okay, so I could do. You know what? I'll be using my Generalissimo.
Okay.
To try to lock it to Glorious.
Give me a roll of a 5 to lock it as Glorious and answer your question.
There you go. Whew, barely.
Now, the other candidates, Juliana Rose, J.W. Walker, one of many, and Cosicius Nerva, who's in prison, they're, of course, all using proxies. Chief Cherub does not want the role. If elected, he says he will not serve in the role, and he's on the currently probably on the mobile incredulous. That leaves only Scortus. Scortus has decided not to use a proxy, and he is somewhere on the in the system.
Which is illegal?
It's questionable because they're supposed to use surrogates.
Right.
They don't really want a true Star Ward. They'd rather have a taint. Ceremonial will have the position because it reduces the chance that somebody will decide that they want to actually be Star Ward and rule the galaxy.
Got it. Okay.
I go on to Rusty. Is there anything from the World Wide Web that you wanted to find out about this scenario?
Yes. In my better valor, I would like to know the path to take to get to the rally for Rose.
The rally for Rose is actually a freebie. You can see that the communications array is very close to that Taint living district there.
And so we can cross over to that?
You can cross right over. Those are connected. Go ahead and give me another question instead.
I want to know the path to the rally for Cherub.
Cherub. In order to get to Cherub, it would probably be, you're going to have to move through a section of manufacturing and then take the rail line from that. So from the Rally for Rose, you're going to want to go south.
Okay. That's good. And I was using my better valor.
Give me
savvy.
A 2 dice roll. Are you level 5? You're level
I am
4?
level 4.
Give me a roll of a 5 on 2 dice to lock it as Glorious.
Oh.
That's one of the two. Roll a second die and make it and match it up. Conrad, is there any questions about this election that you wish to ask?
I'm trying to locate where Scortus is by using matching series on my tin heads.
Okay.
And my thought was that they probably won't advertise where he is, but there'll be some point in the space where people aren't talking about stuff, which would be, the obviously obscured place. Does that make sense?
Scortus is currently, and let me go ahead and let's make the roll. What skill are you applying to it?
I'm using tin head matched series.
Okay, terrific. Give me a 2 dice roll of a 5 and to lock it as Glorious.
Just to get it, by the way.
Oh, just to get it, absolutely.
Okay.
And let me open the map and get my fog and show you where he's at. There's our image for Scortus. He is currently being held under house arrest by unknown forces in that storage area, chemical storage area.
Interesting.
And I go to Greg. Are you back with me on the maps?
No, I am rebooting. Unfortunately, I couldn't. When I got back in, it was still white, so I'm rebooting my laptop.
Okay, in a second, we'll give you a chance to ask a question about the election in this scenario. Fred, round to you.
What are we doing?
Did you want to ask a question about the scenario?
Yeah, let me take a look here at the characters, see what I want to go with. Now I can, this is on a computer system, right?
Sure.
So you said it's encrypted and we're hacking it, right?
Yep.
So it's gonna go with a tin head. Let me use,
If you pick something you don't have, you can pick it up.
because I have co-patched Glorious.
Yeah, but if you pick something different, you might be able to pick it up if you make the roll.
True. Let's try, let's see. That's a good one here. Let's try military grade.
Military grade. You're going to try to go into the secure mace communications
I'm
line.
trying to
Give me
pick
2
it
dice
up.
for a 5, please.
Nope.
Oh, and unfortunately, you lost your military grade, swaggering by that action. And you didn't really find any answer to your question. And we will continue now in gaming turns. I'll give Greg a chance to lock one of his swaggering as glorious, or acquire a swaggering on a roll of 5 in a second. I'm going to move over to, let's see, who got us to...
Like a cunning ploy there.
Not really, not at this level. You're getting there, but not really. I left off with Fred moving us to the sensor array. Tony, you can move us directly to the rally for Rose, and we can crush that rally and tell everyone to go to their caucus locations, or you can go elsewhere on the map.
Let's just go crush it.
Okay, let's go crush it. Why not? All right, so when you get to the rally for Rose, we realize that it's take your child to work day, except many of the activists and most of the activists don't have children. Instead, they have brought their pets. So we are going to roll on Q&D bug-eyed scary monsters with all card suit modifiers applying. Now, if you're not familiar with what those are, I'm only going to make this a 2 because it's extremely difficult. Depending upon the card suit that's flipped, ugly things happen as a flare. But Tony, since you're the one that moved there, we're going to use me as the guinea pig to start things, which is only fair. And let me grab the table here.
I consider that very fair.
Bug-eyed monster.
Fairest, that's the fairest way.
Yeah, I don't consider it fair because I'm next.
Here comes my card. It's a knave.
Okay.
Oh, that is definitely as fair and as unfair as it can be. Let's first look at the fact that it's intrigue. I have run into a creature which is venomous. The creature is poisonous and injects, sprays, oozes, aspirates, breathes a cloud, or spews spores that chemically are deadly. Any failure at any action that I attempt will cause me to be shaken. So let me see what my knave card, where also fail is shaken, reads at. It says, stop whining. Not like it's doing what it does vindictively with any malice. It's a dumb beast. Success and the encounter. We need to do that twice in order to win, but fail and suffer a vicious. Trait durable. I am durable. It is a roll of a 7 on 3 dice in order for me to succeed. If I fail, I also am shaken as well as vicious. 3 dice for a 7, and I've made it. So we need one more successful roll to properly quell Juliana Rose's followers and all of their pets. A Rusty. Here comes the card for you, sir. How about a king?
Not inverted. Holy smokes.
Not a Bane?
King is a great card, but let's find out what the artifice means first. Under artifice, it says the creature is devious and sneaky. It will bait, feign injury, or engender sympathy. Difficulty of the next Bane flipped after the artifice card is increased by 3. Thank you, Conrad. That card may not immediately follow for the next player, but that king artifice, Rusty, to end it, did somebody post it? They certainly did. Go ahead.
Call a similar species and repeat those tactics. Success and the encounter ends. Difficulty 12, advantage skill, veteran. Let's see here. skill veteran, and I am skilled veteran.
It is 3 dice for a 12. Rusty, did you want to use a make roll for that, or?
No,
Whoa!
I did not.
Okay, he decided to just roll it, and the encounter has ended. We have successfully quelled the rally for Rose.
I wasn't concerned.
I wasn't concerned at all after I
Not
made
at
my
all.
roll.
You guys were
there was a bit of
scared
concern.
shitless that I rolled that.
Yes, I was scared that you rolled that. That's
Rusty, anything over a 4, and we're all right. We're worried about you, buddy.
4, 2.
I am going to say that I'm going to call that experiences beyond comprehension for my guy at my level, and the rest of you, I should say, did not make a roll there. But Rusty, what did you wish to check as ignoble for going through that Rally for Rose animal convention?
I think cunning ploys and skills
Cunning
demonstrated.
ploys
right
and
there.
skills. Technically, you cannot gain that from Q&D, so
Oh, okay. How about adventure, travel, and
very
intrigue?
much so. Go ahead and check that.
Or it could be growth that I'm going to take the big risk all the time. No, that would be a bad growth. Okay.
Yeah, that would be bad.
He's learning. He's learning.
But technically, a 12 for Rusty was a big risk.
It is a big risk. There are
Yes.
2 ways to proceed here that I will go ahead and reveal. Now, you can head south from the Rally from Rose, either through the Walker Manufacturing District, or you can head, and we can avoid Walker Campaign Headquarters and head through the industrial factories, through the Phillips Pod power generation, and take the right to the Rally for Cherub. Do you want to go into the Walker Campaign Headquarters or not? That decision is being made by Rusty.
Oh, no.
To Walker or not to Walker? That is the question.
Walker's always bad. If you weren't clear on that.
Walker's always bad? Really?
Yes. Every time we dealt with the walkers, we've nearly killed everyone.
I'm always bad.
They're always bad? Okay, so then we can go into the place that looks like a quarantine place, right?
Yeah,
Manufacturing area.
Directly to the west.
Yeah, that's the clean room for manufacturing of components, and from there you take the rail right down to the Rally for Cherub.
Yeah,
Is that
no,
correct?
definitely we want to go into the clean room when we're so clean. Yeah.
Now, as we're crossing through that subway, you see that little eye that's right there?
Yep.
Mhm.
You notice that there are different sort of memes that are being broadcast through both the inner tubes in that area and the local media, and the "Be the Rebel" meme is very strong on the posters in that area. They're casting. They're trying to encourage people to cast a protest vote by not voting, and this campaign is actually it's hurting the candidacies of Rose and Cherub, because it's depressing the amount of immunes that are volunteering for those 2 campaigns. Everyone follow what's going on?
But Cherub doesn't want to win, and Rose is so far ahead it doesn't matter.
No, Rose is not far ahead.
Oh, okay.
Scortus is far ahead.
Scortus is ahead, right? Yep.
Yeah. Okay, the Rally for Cherub would actually clear up the second of the 2 objectives here, and then we're free to just leave if we wanted to and leave politics for the politicians. As we enter the Cherub area, we notice that it's empty. There is actually nobody, including his own proxy, that's in that area.
Mission accomplished. Okay.
Well,
Check the box.
As a Terran, Rusty, you may want to ask the question that what happened to Cherub's proxy here? The guy just can't disappear. Everyone see him for the moment?
It's a big planet.
Here he is.
I
Now
see
he's
him.
gone.
I see him.
He disappeared on me. Okay.
I see.
put him-
He's still there with a cigar.
Let me put him back where he belongs.
All right.
Walker headquarters.
All right. So we have successfully ended campaigning except for our mission has not turned off yet. And they say that there are actually 4 forms of internet interference in the campaign, of which we've only encountered 1 yet. So where do you go from here, guys? We need to find the other 3 campaign interferences that are going on.
Do we know what the white golf balls are directly to the north?
Yeah, that's a power plant, Rusty. Those things spin with essentially perpetual motion.
Oh, okay. All right. So we don't have to go there. We've already been there?
Nope, you don't have to go there, except for if you want to end all of the internet interference in this campaign. One of the ways to do so would be to shut off power to the planet, and that's one of two locations where you can do that at. But it depends on whether or not you want to solve this with demolition rolls or want to solve this by wandering around until you.
We're on Bogus Blue, and we're going to shut down the power on the whole planet.
You're going to actually remember what I said. This is sort of the subset. So we would find the power that is most likely going to cause a glitch in the campaign that would stop all this internet interference in the campaign. But in truth, with that huge solar array that you went through, there's no way that you're ever going to shut off total power to the planet. But if you want to destroy those 2 Phillips pods area, you could potentially disrupt the internet campaigns, the other 3 which you're not aware of yet.
So I do have a question about the memes that we saw. Can someone who has, like, say, scientist or maybe psych warfare take a closer look at the memes and see maybe those are actually, while they're saying they're don't vote as a protest, maybe it in hidden, and behind is, vote for the skier or something.
Well, the ones you've encountered so far, if they hurt Rose and Cherub, then they're helping Walker, Nerva, and Scortus. No roll needed.
All right.
And there's nothing technically high tech or nefarious about it all. People are just gullible and malleable.
Okay, no worries.
We are talking taints here, so they're
and robots.
Oh, and robots.
Robots vote. All right.
Yeah, the robots are allowed to vote, at least on Bogus Blue. They're not allowed to hold office, but they're allowed to vote for the candidates. And they're allowed to vote here because most humans think the position of Star Ward is absolutely meaningless. It's as meaningless as the Oscars.
Yeah.
So I'm over to who moved us to rally for Cherub? That was Tony. Rusty, you wanted to go where now?
So if we get rid of the interference, are we done?
You hope.
It's not going to be that easy.
There's not a whole lot of the map left. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could go see.
There are 2 mysteries. One is what happened to Cherub's surrogate, his proxy candidate, and why is Scortus in the middle of that chemical? You're gonna head toward that?
We'll go see Scortus.
Okay. And when you get there, you find out it's not so much that he's being held captive as he's hopelessly lost in the maze there. And he says that his own campaign office, he can't find it from where he's at. So this is more like a adventure game type of thing. Can you get E.T. home? So now you're going to be traveling with this guy, and you need to get him back to his campaign office.
This is Scortus.
E.T. go home.
Campaign office at.
I move on to Conrad. Conrad, where do you want to go, and at this point, why?
So we got a dude that's lost here, and he can't find his.
Yeah, you have the candidate, the first skiing candidate for Star Ward is lost.
Okay.
And needs to get back to his campaign headquarters.
I think the appropriate thing is to go back to the skyhook here.
Okay.
travel to the other skyhook here,
Okay.
and then go to the sponsored by Walker brand tooth and nail business football game.
All right.
Or
In
ball
order
game.
to get there, you first have to travel through this
Some
area.
black areas.
Yeah,
Let
we'll
me
find out.
draw it.
We want to go to ball game.
Oh, there's a little silver thing.
Oh boy.
And we have another
Roman numeral
battle.
3 or 4.
Should we make it 25 G-Sol? No. We had such a hard time with 5 G-Sol. I'm going to make it 3 G-Sol. No one's going to be able to check an ignoble from this. We have to dust off. We have to dust off 3 G-Sol, or you can ignore the encounter. The decision is going to be Greg Morrison's. Greg, you have the option of fighting 3 G-Sol who are insulting the Battleborn and telling you to leave the planet. You can take, everyone in the party can take an insanity point from the humiliation, or you can fight the 3 G-Sol in normal battle.
Okay, so it was the first version of that, or were there just 2 options?
There's 2 options. The first option
Okay,
is you can just accept the humiliation and everyone takes a point of insanity for it, or you can fight the 3 guys and try to win.
I'm a cruise. I'm not going to accept the insults.
Okay. 3. We got to battle 3. 3. We're also going to start with Fred. Fred, you have the normal actions. Do you wish to assail, command, DOC, defensive? You have a wound, by the way. You might want to stay in support.
I'm gonna go funky and play on these guys' emotions.
You're going to do funky power. Okay. Do you have you done funky before? Do you have a lot of funkies, or are you going to try to build them up?
But in the past, I have it. I have emotions already on my.
Here come your funky, Fred, and it's a knave.
Oh no! It's not a Bane though.
That's not a Bane. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it was a funky power.
Funky knave.
Funky knave.
Okay. Dazzle with an all-in display of kinetic and paranormal energies. Success for dispatch. Fail on your next action card. Suite decides the method. Regardless, party ignores the next half. D8 Bane. Hey. Players going forward. Players treat funky method as Bane. Difficult 10. Advantage skill bonsai, which I don't have. But I'm going to make roll this sucker since we're not going for anything anyhow on these.
Okay. And you can go ahead and Flare going forward. Player treats funky powers as Bane. So you're probably going to have to change method next round unless you want some more Banes. We're ignoring the next Bane that's flipped. And 1 person is dispatched. There's 2 left. I go on to Tony. What would you like to do, sir?
I guess I'll do my assail.
Okay, assail. Here it comes. A 3.
A 3 on assail. A 3 tells me, obey instructions immediately, follow orders without hesitation nor doubt, success in dispatch, fail and pin, regardless, gain fury pip, difficulty 10, advantage, savvy, killer instinct. I think I picked that up before, didn't I? Where's my savvy killer? G. Killer instinct. Yep, got it. Okay, so I'm gonna roll 3 dice. And there we go. 15. Got it. No problem. Not pinned, and I pick up Fury for going forward, and I dispatch 1. We're down to 1.
Down to 1. And it comes over to me, and I will do my DOC action, and here comes the card flip. And I got myself a Bane King. Delve your imagination for team motivation, of course.
Are we ignoring 1 Bane?
We're ignoring 1 Bane. Thank you. Ascertain what you need and ensure your source won't further aid the enemy and report you to the Hague. Success for dispatch. Skill interrogation. I do not have the skill interrogation. Is it on my list of things to get? I'm going to make sure that I'm not cheating myself. It is not even on my goal list. I'm sure I don't have skill interrogation. Let me come up here. Oh, I do have skill interrogation. I wondered why. 5 on 3 dice. I should be able to make that. 5 on 3 dice.
I'm sorry. You have
success for dispatch. Regardless, we get the tactics pip. DOC commerce non-Bane.
Your skills for your character.
That's it though. We just won.
Yes, we just won.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Bam, bam.
You have a goal list on your characters?
I do have a goal list. I have a goal
You don't
list.
have one? What's wrong with you?
I have a goal list because I wanted to be a perfect DOC and have every advantage when I perform the action.
Crazy.
That's perfect for
He
DOC.
thinks we're in a role playing game.
The only one I will never get is this one, and it brings a tear to my eye, just like the Scarecrow, who knows he will never have a brain.
There's someplace in the universe you can get it, I'm sure.
All right, now the Walker proxy is in his campaign headquarters. The Cherub guy is not in his campaign headquarters. Let me reveal some more of the map here. I hate the way this turns off and on for me. I'm always double clicking stuff. That the Juliana Rose is in her position correctly, and so is Nerva in his position. When we pass the 4 on our way to the ballpark, looking it up, scrolling. Oh, there's another meme, and it advocates the vote with your fist meme.
It's interesting that all of the
Hey, what about the
impediments
robots?
are right
How
in
are they
front of
supposed
the
to do that?
specific. You have to go past them to get to the other candidates, except for Walker.
Well, technically Walker has that eye in front of him. The vote with your fist meme is getting people to catcall, even brawl any civic nerds trying to reach caucus points. This is hurting participation by Cherub and Nerva activists who tend to enjoy being hooligans. So they're convincing some of the young bloods on Bogus Blue to beat up people who try to vote. So we have 2 campaigns so far, and then campaign 2, which is in front of Juliana Rose's campaign office, we discover and turn off is the campaign for Giggles. Giggles is a pair with googly eyes for the Laugh Out Loud and Lutz. This is hurting participation by Walker and Nerva activists, depressing immune enthusiasm overall. So that campaign was convincing people to vote for just a comedy candidate rather than one of the official candidates. Rose, Nerva, and Walker are in position. Cherubs is not. Let me open that up with a map just so we can see it. So the Cherub candidate is missing, and we are at the ballpark. And I go on to, Conrad made that move, I go on to Greg. Greg, your options at this point are to search for the missing Cherub candidates so we can get that caucus started. We also need to return Scortus to his headquarters before he can officially start the caucus, but we know where he is. Or you can roll on Q&D L5 Vegas and gamble. Your choice is yours, sir.
Well, I'm going to search for Cherub.
Okay, you would like to search for Cherub's proxy, his stand-in, correct?
Oh, it's a stand-in. I'm not so worried about the stand-in. I was more worried about Cherub.
No, Cherub is doing his duties off of the planet.
I was going to say, yeah, that seemed odd that he's lost on the planet.
No.
Yeah, let's go ahead and search for the stand-in anyway.
Okay, so there are a couple of different places that are dark areas on the map around you, to the south and to the west. So to the east. Do you wish to go south, or do you wish to go east looking for the candidate?
Let's go south.
Okay, south we go. All right, we've entered in the robotic area, and the robotics, the robots are in protest. They are allowed to vote, because the result of the selection is deemed to be meaningless. However, they are angry at the fact that none of them are allowed to run for office, even in a ceremonial position. They've started the hashtag Star Wars So Biped, which is influencing the election, and that needs to be stopped with a Q&D matrix hack to quell this uprising. All card suits supply as modifiers.
We gotta do another hacking mission. Huh?
And we left off.
I kind of agree with the robots on this one, I think.
Let me see, Tony. That would put you in violation of the Hatch Act at this moment because you're in uniform and you're not allowed to express any political viewpoints while in uniform. To do so again, and they're going to shock you in your suit, and you'll suffer PM cycle and insanity points. So we're probably nobody officially heard you say that you were sympathetic there. And instead, they one of the Terrans pulls out the kryptonite and makes the squeaky noise sound with a little rubber toy, and you and I start brawling over it. All right, so Q&D matrix hack to quell this uprising. I left off with Rusty on the ability to fight the animals. So I'm going to pick up with Conrad, which is only fair and sad at the same time, since just like with the animals, every card suit will have a flare on this matrix hack. But the good point is that matrix hack is actually a collective Q&D, so it doesn't really matter who actually reads the event that comes up. Let me find my table here.
Is it Matrix Watchdog?
It is Matrix Watchdog. Q&D matrix hack under Matrix Watchdog, and the card flip we have is a queen, if you would like to read it out to us. It is not inverted.
Certainly. Overclock your mind, probably with some stimulants, but mostly being the ghost taskmaster of a nearby machine. Success to gain the tactics pip. Flare, if the target number is still above 0 in a half die 8 rounds. Lose your ship soft serve dispenser. Now we got something to fight over, boys. Condition skill Minuteman, difficulty 10, advantage tin head sparks / odor free. I
All right.
I had sparks odor free though, because that was on my list of things I needed to get.
So the condition is skill Minuteman. So who has a Minuteman? But before we go that, a random person suffers an insanity point because of the card flip. Being in the matrix here is just too stressful on someone. And that person is going to be, I roll a D8 and go around the table. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. Do I have a D6? No, I don't. So I roll a D8.
There's a D6 at the
one.
bottom. There's
Rusty, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fred, as if we can't add any more misery to your life, your character has suffered a point of insanity. So just tick up whatever value you're at by 1, please.
Only 1 point?
Only 1.
If you are spirited, you may ignore that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just,
Is that true, Conrad?
It's a spirited says cancels insanity loss with the loss of swaggering.
Oh, with loss of swaggering, though. But we can take that off the ship, and we should certainly do that.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so we have sold our prize cargo. That was we calmed.
No, we should give up. We should give up the ice cream machine since we're going to lose it in half die.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We have to take.
Man, this damn matrix hack is so complicated.
We don't have the ice cream machines anyway, Conrad. The ice cream machines have rebelled on us long ago.
It doesn't. What you're saying is it doesn't matter one way or the other. This matrix thing is so confusing.
It is so confusing.
Making me insane.
We do not lose as a flare the soft serve ice cream in a die 8 rounds because we don't have to lose. Can we gain the tactics pip? Let's go back to the original question. Who is Minuteman? I'll start with Conrad. Are you Minuteman?
No.
Greg, are you Minuteman?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you're going to give me a roll of, I'm looking at my queen. You're going to need a 10. Do you have 10 head sparks and odor free?
Do I have 10 head sparks and odor free?
Yep.
That's H as in Hawaii.
H. Sparks odor free. I do not.
Give me a roll of 10 to pick it up and also gain us the tactics pip, please.
A roll of 10 on 2 dice?
On 2 dice, yes.
On 2 dice. There you go.
Okay, so pick up your
Greg's
10 head
fire,
H,
baby.
and we have the tactics pip of +1. Fred, are you a Minuteman?
No.
Tony, are you a Minuteman?
Not anymore. Not this run.
Not this go round. Am I a Minuteman? I am a Minuteman. I need a roll
Holy
of a
smokes.
10 in order to pick up tactics twice, which would end this event for us. Here comes the roll. A 10. Sometimes close enough is close enough. And I
Sparks
also
and odor
pick,
free is well written. Yep.
I also pick up
H. Sparks
Sparks
and
and odor free tin head. I don't have that, so I would delightfully like to pick up.
I'm also a Minuteman.
Sparks and odor free H. Rusty, would you like to roll me a 10 to pick up Sparks and odor free, please, as a freebie?
Oh my gosh, I made it.
You may pick up Sparks and odor free tin head specialty. And we are successful with that one roll out of this matrix problem. They no longer are supporting the hashtag of, what was the hashtag they were supporting? I cannot even remember now. Oh, the Star Wars So Biped.
Oh, yeah, that was the other.
I go on to Greg was the one that moved us last, so I go on to Fred. Fred, we have we need to find Cherub's proxy somewhere in what's left of the dark area, and we also have to return Scortus to his campaign headquarters. You can go east from this to find blank area, or you could go east from the arena to find blank area. How would you like to go? East from the arena or east from the robots?
What map are you on? Vote Star
I'm
Wars?
on the Star Wars Vote Star Wars
I'm
map.
looking around for the little guy. Where'd he go?
He's down in the lower southwest corner, next to the 3 with the blue line, next to the dragon with the yellow guy, underneath the sports arena.
Not seeing it. Just get me and go to somebody else because this thing's been acting up on me all night.
Okay, you're probably having troubles like Greg. I go to Tony. Tony, would you like to go east from the robot area or east from the arena to find one of our 2 objectives?
Let's go east from the robot area.
Okay. Let me get my fog of war here.
It's like it's been deleted.
And with a defensive modifier of -2, we have another battle to fight.
It's back on there now. I opened up a whole bunch of the map.
And as typical for this game, the first battle was too hard. The second battle was too easy. So let's just continue with 3 at a defensive modifier of 2. And I start with me doing my DOC actions. Everyone understand we're in combat? If you don't, well, here it comes. Let me get to my my own table. A 5 DOC for me, Conrad, when you get a chance to post it. Otherwise, I'm going to find it on my rules.
Not inverted. There you go, right there.
How many of these guys are we facing again?
3.
3.
Okay.
We want our porridge.
We want our porridge, and we want it now.
You're posted up, Red.
And DOC Commerce, it's act without hesitation, lead your charges by quick action. Success to safely retreat or remove one person shaken or pinned. Regardless, gain the Fury Pip. I'll take the Fury Pip. Minuteman on an 8. I am a Minuteman. It is one of my skills that I had on my list of to get, and which I've already gotten. And I have made that roll. I think actually I should have rolled that with advantage dice, shouldn't I have? I have got the Fury Pip, which is nice, +2 to my dice, and one person is not shaken or pinned. I'm going to interpret that instead, since there is no one already shaken and pinned, and I do not need to safely retreat. I'm going to give myself the option of a calculated action. That calculated action can be used by anyone. For instance, it could be used by Rusty right now to try to defeat 3 people and win instantaneously with a G-style calculated action, or we can hold on to it and it can ignore 1 wound. Rusty, what would you like to do, sir? Command or calculated action?
Command, and we'll hold on to the thing to nullify a vicious.
Wounds? Yeah. Always judicious. How about a knight command, Bane?
Let's see.
Always a Bane.
Always a Bane, but that's all right. Prove to a mocking enemy that you're no butter bar. Fail and surrender. When an enemy has
You damn butterball.
higher ferocity than your level, else route with a method locked as defensive. Regardless, you're shaken. Difficulty 5, advantage, skill, robber baron. Let's see, skill, robber baron. I am not a robber baron, and it's only a 5.
It's only a 5.
I could easily fail this.
You should put it on your list, Rusty. Forget robber baron.
Woo! He made it. Okay. But you're shaken. You're -2 in
No,
rounds.
does he get it because I thought it was a command or a defense modifier of 2.
Ah, look at that. Conrad is Johnny on the spot. -2 means he needs a 7. He missed it. Rusty, these guys are not higher level than you at defensive modifier of 2. Because your level is 4, but you are at defensive again. Once again, our commander is running for the hills. He just does not want to be on Bogus Blue. I don't blame him.
And I'm shaking.
Conrad.
And you're shaking at -2.
Mike would have done it.
Tape.
If Mike was here, he would have done it. I just did a memorial for Mike.
Defense is pretty dangerous, too.
Yeah, if you made Tony the party real quick. Yeah,
it isn't like in Cutlass where you're defensive.
I secretly want to be in the command role.
That is true. Defensive is not, running away is not as good in a firearm-driven plasma game. Conrad, would you like to go assail or do something outlandish? No, they do irregular.
I am going to do something assailish like.
How about if we give you a knight assail?
A knight, that's always good, isn't it?
3 enemies.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Hold while outlying gunnery or security wards target your enemy's position. Success for the Fury Pip. Regardless, gain a calculated method next round. Difficulty 11. Advantage ship optimal power. E as in Edward. I don't know if we've got that on my list here. I'm not seeing it.
Optimal power is E, and we do not have E.
So I need the 11 to succeed here, right? And gain the Fury Pip. I am going to use my inventive trait to pick up the catbird seat.
It's spirited for the catbird seat.
No, I have spirited as gain command, and inventive as gain catbird. Is that incorrect? Did that get reversed?
Let me see. It's spirited gains the Fury Pip.
Inventive as start catbird level 5 plus.
Yep.
Inventive is a bonus save swag, and skip irregular actions. The spirited is how you gain the Fury Pip. It also cancels insanity by sacrificing.
The catbird.
I have both, but I have inventive as gain catbird and spirit as gain command.
So you're probably looking at the character sheet, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at
let me grab the rules here. I think that might have changed just a little bit, and I'm going to racial traits, trait tactical benefits, inventive tactical benefits. At each level, you gain an extra skill. He ignores the first occasion of lost swaggering or forced irregular method. The benefit is transferable, and it is collected. There's more. The inventive may use his trait to gain a quest pip that was earned and later lost. You can return the quest pip. These protections might make the earlier phases of the adventure early. The trait gives a benefit each adventure through enhancing the group's Dauntless Perisher. You get extra skills. But at level 5, he may use the trait to gain the catbird seat benefits at the start of the battle of one adventure. So if you want, you can be +3 right now, and then that's it with that. But there is no, the spirit is the one where you get the extra 3. You follow?
I'm sorry, I thought you just read inventive.
Yeah, that was inventive I read.
Right, and that's what I said. I want to use the inventive one to gain the catbird at the beginning of the battle.
+3, absolutely.
Right, that's right, correct. Right. You don't get that till you're level 5, and then I happen to be level 5. So I'm going to roll 11 plus 2 is a 13, less 3 is a 10, correct?
Let's see. It's going to be 3 is you're going to need an 8, right? +2 is you're going to need a 10. That is correct.
Correct. And then let me burn my ignore the defensive modifier also for inventive.
Okay.
It's getting late in the evening. So I will do that as well. So that's back to the 8. So an 8 rolled twice on 2 dice because we don't have optimal power, and I can't use Magnetic pulse, correct?
Magnetic pulse. It's for to cover. No, you cannot.
Yeah,
The ship
use
and
it.
the
Ship powers.
and
Ship is
proxy. Those are 5 and 6 on the hierarchy.
Okay, two dice looking for an 8, and there she blows.
And an H, you made it.
And we did pick up ship optimal power, right?
You most definitely did give us ship. We turn out the Dauntless Perisher in orbit. We get an update from the tin heads that say, "Wow, you know why? If we could keep you guys off of the ship."
Just turned a dip switch on and it turned it back on.
Exactly. We could get
been my
Did I
everything
just
theory all
call
along.
somebody a dip?
Get us
Did I just
off
call
the
myself a
ship.
dip?
I go to Greg. Greg, would you like to assail, please? 3 enemies still to beat.
Good.
How about a queen, Bane?
Oh, for crying out loud.
That's just bad. Let me get you a sail, Queen, Bane. There you go.
Fight to achieve air superiority and high guard cover. Force them all hunkering down. Fail. Suffer a vicious. Regardless, all your assail actions are Bane. Difficulty 4. Advantage skill airborne. And I am airborne.
So it's a 6.
All right. 6.
Woohoo!
All right. So now assail is a Bane for me.
Sail is a Bane for you, but you did not suffer the vicious wound. Fred, you're wide open. You can do your brash attacks if you wish.
But Rusty's going to have to go defensive next round, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Rusty needs a defensive. You might want to start with a command action and double up our commanders. Or Funky, you were saying, right?
Or you could just do support and then move into command next turn.
That's very safe as well.
Oh, what's going on here? Everybody
The world is your oyster.
I am going to go brash.
Here comes your brash card. How about a knight, Bane?
You are posted.
All right, somebody post that up there, or
I just did.
get that?
Did it not come?
It shows for me. Spray fire.
Is your virtual tabletop giving you troubles, Fred?
Anybody here?
Oh, now
I can hear you, Fred.
Yeah.
We can hear you, Fred, but I don't think you can hear us.
Lost everything. Hold on. Sounds has died.
Okay.
Okay, so Fred, you need to do a reboot. If he's even seen the
Yeah, we're not even hearing him anymore, so.
I think we lost him on Skype and we lost him on. Let me check my Skype to see if we've lost him. And I do not see him anymore in Skype.
Yeah, he looks like he's dropped.
I think he
He may be rebooting right now. One member not in call. We'll continue on when we hear him in Skype. We'll give him his action again, and he's going to spray fire in a 360-degree circle of destruction. Next time, perhaps thinking Sterridians. The enemy was lurking above and below. Fail and knocked out. For the moment, we'll just say he's knocked out. I'm going to go on to Tony. Would you like to assail, please?
Yes. Got to take care of these sales.
How about an 8 Bane?
Oh, great. Thank you. Free yourself from that rockin' hard place by calling in the Disco Robo Cavalry. Fail and route with method locked as defensive. Flare going forward. Player treats assail method as Bane. Oh, great. Difficulty 13, advantage, tin head, military grade G. Ooh. Tin head, military grade G. I have that locked as glorious, in fact.
Give us 3 dice for that 15, unfortunately.
15. There you go.
Oh, good roll. So the cruise does not rout. And it comes over to me, and I will do my DOC action. Still got 3 opponents. It's a knave. A knave bane. A knave bane says thwart both external and cyber damage. Fail and retreat back to method support. Crews treat this instead as a vicious wound. That would be me. Regardless, add 1 and test insanity. Ship matrix codes M. I look at my tin heads. No, it's ship matrix codes. Do we? Oh, we do have ship matrix codes. Thank you, people, for having that. And 11 on 3 dice. Do I have the Fury? I do have the Fury from last round. Here it comes. And it's 2 for the defensive modifier, 2 for my Fury as a cancel. I needed a 11, and I've
you
made
got
it.
a 12. Yeah.
So I don't suffer the vicious wound. I do not try to retreat back to support. And we still have our matrix code. I think that is it. Oh, regardless, add 1 and test insanity. We hate that. Let me see what my insanity is at. Did I even record this? Of course, I must have recorded it somewhere. Oh, it's an insanity. I went to insanity 2. 2 dice. I got to roll 2 dice better than 2.
Can you bypass that?
7. Bypass that by being...
by using one of the ship's loss.
Yes.
You have to have the trait.
I'll take away... Wait. I'm going to do a 2 for here. I'm going to take away our optimal power so that I don't suffer the point of insanity. I'm back to 1. And I'm going to take away the fierce, the inventive trait and bring us just a 1 inventive trait to make sure it stays. So in essence, I just burned somebody else's inventive trait in order to keep from going insane.
And we lost optimal power, right?
Thank Rusty. We did not lose optimal power because inventive traits cancels the loss of swaggering. I go on to Rusty. Rusty, here comes your card as defensive, correct?
Right.
How about a 2?
It's dangerous. It's defensive. It's not a bane, though. All right.
Not a bane.
So I'm sorry. Let me get you that posted up here real quick. There you go.
Let's see. Hack the matrix. Use the security cameras, walker maps, or whatever local weather warnings you can scrounge to make your exit on a friendly vessel. You might override the directives of all robots to instead aid you in your escape. Success to safely retreat or remove one person shaken and pinned. Fail and knocked out. That's not necessarily bad. Okay, regardless, gain the Fury Pip. With that, it is worth returning to combat and off defensive. All right, difficulty 8, advantage, skill, Fusilier. I am not a Fusilier. Let's see if I can make an 8. No, I have to make a 10, right?
A 10, that is correct.
All right.
10 or you're knocked unconscious.
Oh, my God.
Oh, 16. But you also gain the Fury Pip, which now you've canceled the defensive modifier. And we go to, also, regardless, you gain the Fury Pip and you're back in combat. You don't have to take defensive anymore. I go to...
So I knocked off their defensive modifier?
Well, for yourself, because
only for me?
Pip.
Okay.
Yeah, it was +2, -2 is what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
Conrad, we do not have a command action yet. Did you want to step in and take a bane for it or not?
No, I'm going to assail. I have the defensive modifier erased, and I have the Fury Pip from the last roll.
Ace.
Ace is always good.
Yeah, always good.
Practice makes perfect. Success for a dispatch. Difficulty 6, advantage EE suit. DP targeting F as in Frank. That is on my list of things I'd like to get. So I currently need a 4 on 2 dice to pick that up. And
Conrad, you should admit having a goal sheet for your character.
Yeah, and my goal is anything that's blank.
2 people left. I'm going over to Greg. Greg, you're going to sail for us, correct?
It's a bane for me. I'm not sure how well it'll benefit us.
All right. Why don't you go to command then and cover for Rusty for this round?
Works for me.
It's going to cause you an automatic bane, but here it comes. How about a queen? It's a bane anyway. Queen bane command.
And they're done that. Glitch in your OS code designates you as unfit for duty. Well, we knew that. Fail and trapped. All defensive actions are bane until squad obtains exploit. Regardless, all pips reset to 0. Monkeys. Difficulty 6. Advantage skill drill sergeant. Excuse me. Let's see. Drill sergeant. No advantage. All right. So I'm rolling 2 dice, so a 6.
2 dice for an
For an
8
8.
because of defensive modifier.
Oh, that's right.
You can do it.
And
Yeah.
you made it, so our defensive actions are not hurt. Regardless, all pips are reset to 0. We've lost our Fury pips, Rusty and myself, and
me.
And Conrad.
Oh man, I lost my Fury Pip as well.
And everyone lost their Fury Pip. 2 enemies left. Fred, you're still out of the game. I see you're not in the virtual tabletop, and I don't think you've added back into Skype. I've sent you an invite if we can when you get your laptop rebooted. And Tony, here comes your card for a sale, I guess, right?
Well, do I have to take a sale to the team because I'm going to be on a Bane on it automatically?
No, you can move to Brash, I guess, right?
Well, is there anyone else to cover for the sale?
No,
I did
Greg
the
is
sale.
that command action. I did the DOC.
Oh wait,
did
The
a
sale
sale.
has been done around the table.
oh okay. Well then I'll go Brash then.
Here comes your Brash. How about a Knight?
A Knight on Brash.
And it is not a Bane.
No, it is not. Let's try to take a guy out. Take precaution and let the inhuman foe clear the mines and draw fire. Success for Catbird Seat. Regardless, gain calculated method next round. Difficulty 11, advantage tin head, safety override D. Let's see. Do I have tin red safety override? I do not have that. So I am an 11. Make that a 13 because of the defensive modifier. And so, yeah, there we go.
Okay, so success.
Oh,
You're up.
so close.
Did you get to roll twice?
You need a 13.
Ah, a couple 12s.
Oh,
So
I
no
have failed.
+3 next round, but regardless, we have the calculated method, which means we can save that and ignore a wound, or I could take it right now and try to defeat 2 opponents and end this. How about if I just take my DOC action? A 7 Bane. 7 Bane DOC. Trudge through a wash of severed friendly and enemy body parts. Okay, some are merely robotic, but hard to tell octo fluid from cruise blood. Fail and KO with +1 insanity. Trait fierce. I am fierce. 3 dice for a 10. And I have made my 3 dice for a 10. I'm not KO'd with insanity. Rusty, are you
I'll
back
do
in
command.
doing command? How about an ace command, Rusty?
Ba, 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 ba. Oh, sorry. It was a ace,
Ace.
It's an ace.
not inverted.
It is not inverted.
The cards don't go
Such
that
a
low.
strat. I know. Bark your orders, undaunted by the confusion, as even your opponents look on in awe. Success for dispatch. Regardless, recover all party pinned or shaken. Difficulty 8. Advantage savvy preeminent. Q. Let's see here for Q. I have savvy preeminent. Okay, so I'm not going to try and lock it.
Okay.
Let's see. So 3. Let's get a dispatch. Got it.
3 dice for a 10, and you got yourself a dispatch. Regardless, we removed all the thing. There's only 1 left to get. Conrad is sailing from you, correct?
Yes. Was that preeminent misspelled there? Was that
With the umlaut
with
over the E? Or?
umlaut? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's like New Yorker editing style, where whenever you have 2 vowels together, they always umlaut the second one if it isn't a long vowel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's by design, preeminent with the umlaut. We're going to go to 10 for you on a sale, Conrad, for the win.
10 a sale. That is not inverted. 10 is always
No,
good.
that's not a Bane.
I do have the defensive modifier waived, but I do not have any pluses, correct?
That is correct.
Use your front vantage to signal a QB sneak, a change in strategy. Success for the dispatch. Fail and pinned. Regardless, party ignores the next half D8 Banes. Difficulty 8, advantage skill veteran. I am not a veteran. That is on my list to get.
Very good.
I'm sorry, it's on my back. I'm sorry, I take that back. I am a veteran. It was on my backup list, and I got it on the last time that I did the thing. So I do actually get to roll 3 dice.
3 dice for a
3
10.
dice for the 8, because I have the defensive modifier.
Oh, that's right. 3 dice for an 8. You just not +2 on that as well.
And I didn't
And
need
you've
it.
made it, and you dispatched the last guy. Very good. That battle is over. we go back to our list of the Star Wars stuff, and
Certainly that was adventure, wasn't it?
yeah, that can be adventure.
Yay!
I'm going to take adventure for mine as well. Defeating the G-Sol 3 times in a row and essentially quelling them in this game is a nice little accomplishment here. And we put Scortus back in where he needs to be in his campaign headquarters, and we find out a couple of things. First of all, that his 87% chance of winning is 87% chance to win, except it's with a caveat.
Asterisk.
Yes, an asterisk. It's based on not 100% decimal system. It's based on it was
Ceridians.
Yeah, he was using the Lavorian decimal system that is not in base 100 but base 483 for the number of toes on their 60-foot god. Nobody is clear whether they're talking about the number of appendages or the height of the god itself. It has caused many a religious war in their district. So 87 divided by 483 is this guy is not in favor of winning. The clear candidate to winning is unclear right now. It may be Cherub, in which case Cherub will have to leave the league. The other thing about Scortus, which is worth mentioning, and because we found him in his lair here, is that he attracted 30 million J units. Those are full J units, not mini Js. He raised last quarter from the internet from an unknown source. So somebody was trying to get him to win, but unfortunately, he spent all the money on one of those antique LED tote boards that show how much money his campaign has collected so far. And
to add the extra decimal, right?
So to go back to the last battle, can I take growth leadership for coming back into battle? And I plan
you
to
may, Rusty.
Future.
Yes, you may.
All right.
And I've taken
your planned list of skills to pick up.
And I've taken growth because we beat the G-Sol 3 times in a row, and so I will not back down from the G-Sol now.
Why would you back down from the G-Sol ever? We find right. the proxy for Cherub has been stuck. He was playing Star Wars in the waste converter section of this area and was trapped in there. Tony, give me a display of skills to get him free.
Let me see what skill would be appropriate for that. How about, let me see, to get him free from where he's stuck in the trash compactor?
Yes.
I'm going to try to use hostage negotiator. I'm going to negotiate with the trash compactor.
Ah, you're
to
a bread
release
man.
him. Yeah, exactly.
Would you like a muffin?
Give me a roll of 5, please.
I cannot do so.
It is so sad. It is so sad that you picked up a point of insanity and a point of preventive maintenance cycle because you rolled the snake eyes for me, if you would. Rusty, would you please give me a roll of a 5 and suggest a skill to get this man out of the trash compacting area?
Oh, let's see here. A skill or a swaggering?
It's up to you. If you roll the swaggering, you can either pick up a new swaggering or you can lock the swaggering at glorious.
I'm going to do, I think I'll do Warhorse for us in swaggering and made it.
Okay. And Rusty has moved this guy successfully to Cherub's home base, which starts the caucusing. We have successfully completed our mission. When the giant tote board that was bought by Scortus transforms into a freebooter android Blood Knight.
It always happens.
It always happens to us.
That's what happens when you get an antique scoreboard.
Yes,
with the extra decimal point.
Now, the Q&D freebooters is the worst Q&D we can ever have. It may cause loss of life, And
I
so
don't
if
even think
Fred
I
is
have it.
listening, he may not want to be back in this game. We are all going to try to escape from that table to successfully escape from Bogus Blue while it caucuses. Apparently, the monster is only mad at us for whatever reason. We'll leave that to a future day to sort of decide why. Do you have a Q&D freebooter as one of your options, Conrad?
I do not believe so.
Okay, I can cut and paste them out. It's actually, the title of it is Blood Knights or Deadly Mistakes, and
I thought we had
we
deadly
will
mistakes, but I'm not
Deadly
seeing it.
Mistakes.
Such a
Flip
happy
me like a
name.
king, and I'll read if it's actually the correct table.
No, I'm not seeing it. So go ahead with
Okay, we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to randomly roll to see who has to take the first roll on this table. Again, Rusty is number 1. I'm rolling a 6 die, a 3. Rusty, it's going to be Greg. Greg with much sympathy. Greg with much sympathy on the Blood Knight. Here it comes, 8 Bane. You really don't want to see your Banes. And before we start, Greg, are you spirited, and did you want to activate your Fury Pip?
I am not spirited. If I have a Fury Pip, I'd activate it. I'm just fierce and durable.
How about if we give you that one right here, Proxy Stygians, which you're not going to have?
Okay.
Did you pick it up?
All right.
No, you do not pick up Proxy by the ability.
Oh, okay.
Only with L5 Vegas is the only table so far.
Okay. So I'm reading this, right? Inverted
Yes.
Bane, breathe deep and consider the linear nature of time and how every death could be seen as space for birth. Fail and knock unconscious. You will not escape if the result occurs for the party. You probably will be trampled to death soon unless something very lucky happens. Not even sure that's possible. Roll on Death of Character Digression. Difficulty 11. Command Proxy Stygian. There's no way I have Proxy Stygian, you said.
We don't have the proxy with the Stygian cartel, and there's no way to cover for it otherwise. This would probably be a good time to use one of your make rolls, Greg.
Sounds like a plan. We're make that. I believe.
What
There
level
you
are
go.
you?
5.
What level are you, sir? That's a good make roll.
5.
A 5. Okay, so you have, I think, 4 more, unless you've used one already in the game. And Fred is still out. We're going to go over to Tony. Tony, here's your card. Remember, all of us need to escape on this table, and it could result in loss of life. Here comes the you actually can read it on the table if you wish, out of the game rules, Tony, or here it is posted.
Okay. Let me see. Rely on the lore. Tales told over beers by solo miners facing these terrible fiends. Fail, and all positive pips are set to 0. I don't have any. Haha. For the remainder of the battle. Okay. Difficulty 12. Advantage. Command Proxy S.
SR group.
It's the SR group, which I know we don't have.
It's T, and we don't have it.
Yeah. Okay. So I am
On a 12.
Huh?
It's fail for the remainder of battle, so nobody will get the Fury Pip for the remainder of battle. Did you want to make roll that?
Oh, actually, yeah, I do want to make roll that.
Okay, use one of your make rolls and make roll that. Comes over to me. And much apologies to me. I got a 10 Bane. That 10 Bane is
Who shuffled this deck?
Bane says, I'm contacted by Jack Foster himself, thanking me for my years of dedicated service. He's actually there talking on the phone with you, later telling you how boring his life is on the wormhole artifact. You're busy, then disconnect. Fail and wish you were dead. Automatically gain a negative trait from the insanity table. Oh, that's just unfair, is what that is. Difficulty of 12.
God.
All right, fail on 2 dice. I will use one of my 3 remaining make rolls, and I have 2 make rolls left because I'm not going to risk getting a negative Bane. Rusty, here comes your card. A 4.
Not
No
Bane.
Bane. Oh my gosh.
He might have
Small consolation.
All right. Let's
Here it
see.
comes.
It says, let's see, Blood Knight 4. Left and right by your sides are the ghosts of your ancestors. And the death, however, cannot do anything tactile. The dead cannot do anything tactile. Fail, and everyone treats suit commerce as a bane. Oh, that's not good. Okay, difficulty 9. Advantage, command, proxy.
Chimera
Simon.
Vikings, J. We don't have it.
All right, so I need to roll a 9.
A 9 on 2 dice, unless you want to make roll it.
Well, you can only use one make roll per battle, right?
Not in Battleborn. We can use make rolls as much as we want, anytime we want.
Oh.
It's that ugly of a game.
Let's see. I am spirited. So I
but
can.
we
don't get any pips because.
No, you can. Yeah, that was make rolled, and we didn't have it happen. Did you want to use your Fury pip for +2 and try to roll it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, go ahead. And he has made it. Of course, his ghosts of his ancestors have inspired him. Conrad, here comes your card. It is a 10.
I'd
a
like
10
to do a
upright,
sail.
not a 10 inverted.
I'd like to sail. Can I sail? Please let
No.
me sail.
You are a sailing.
Yeah, okay. Straight up, baby. Open a bit of email and discover your promotion on reassignment was approved. Woohoo! Rather poor timing as the enemy machine responded for you and turned down the offer. Fail and everyone treats Suit Stellar as a bane. Difficulty 14, advantage, command, proxy, war cartel. And looking at my list, we do not have that.
I do not have
So I'm
command,
looking for the
proxy, war cartel.
14.
How many make rolls do you have left, sir?
I still got 4. Now
If you
I got
wish.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we come over to Greg again. Greg, you got yourself a queen.
I haven't seen any of these things that would let us get out.
I bet it's an ace.
I'm hopeful there's some.
Is this going to be like the?
He did say it was the worst table ever.
Oh, so wait a second, Greg, don't read that. That's the better of the two. You got the Bane.
I got the Bane.
Yes.
Somebody
There it
reach
is.
over and turn Red's card stack over. It's everything's a Bane in this. All right. Inverted Bane. Take solace in the fact that you just got a haircut and shaved this morning. Leave behind a rather handsome corpse. Fail and fall with a vicious wound, regardless. Shaken and pinned. Difficulty 10. Advantage, command, proxy, chic, cartel.
We have that. 3 dice for a 10, please.
3 dice for a 10. Oh. All right.
All right, you're not vicious wound, but you are shaken and pinned. You're -2 on your dice rolls next round, or I should say, in continuing action.
And you can only roll 2 dice.
I go, and he can until he's successful. I can. I go to a knight, Bane for Tony. Knight Bane.
Woo!
There's got to be at least one card in here that can get us out of here.
I think you skipped Fred. Isn't that to go to Fred? Okay.
It could go to Fred, but Fred I think is picked a great time not to be here. Go ahead.
Taunt and stay just at arm's reach. By the way, it too can fly. Fail and suffer vicious. If character is not dead, he continues the action with walking wound, risking further injury and death. Difficulty 11. Advantage skill airborne. Well, let's look.
That's not what Red posted.
You know, he's Tony is reading the correct one.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading out the rules here. That's the book. Is that okay? So I'm correct on that one.
You are to taunt and stay just at arm's reach. That is correct.
Okay.
I cut and paste the wrong one.
I have succeeded.
You kited
Right.
him, Tony.
Because
Nice.
I am airborne.
And we're going to go ahead with mine. It says, take solace in the fact that I've got that haircut again, and I'll leave behind a very handsome corpse. Fail for vicious wound. I will be shaken and pinned. Difficulty 10, Sheik Cartel. We got the Sheik Cartel. We do have. I will activate my Fury Pip since we haven't lost all pips yet. So at least for this roll, I will be an 8. And here comes 3 dice for an 8, and I've made it. So I'm not injured, but I do have a shaken and pinned, which will cancel my Fury and make it so that I'm only rolling 2 dice. I go on to Rusty. Rusty, these Banes are not going to get us off this table, I'm pretty sure.
Rusty is shaken and pinned right now, too.
No, I thought that was Greg.
That's
Oh,
Greg.
is that Greg? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that was Greg. Rusty will be shaken and pinned soon enough, but
Yes. There was, let's see, we got a 3 Bane. Okay, got it. There was this guy that had that thing that, he might have spoken about, unless he didn't. Fail and confused. You do not take let's see, it moved. You do not take another event until all of your confederates are finished. Oh, that's not good. Escape or wounded. Maybe before then, that thing to which you do refer will mean you got out too. Difficulty 11. Advantage command proxy crime lords H.
For Tony, but not for us.
For Tony, but not us, huh?
Yeah,
Oh.
11.
Let's
11,
see.
or you are essentially not in the battle until we resolve this.
Yeah. So let's see.
And that's bad, Hal. Rusty just got the
And
best,
that's bad,
Rusty
Hal,
just got the
but-
best card on the suit in the deck.
He did. He probably got the best card in the suit so far.
All right. Let's see here. And of course, I made it.
You're in,
So
baby.
I'm still
You're
in.
He's
Taking
still
these
in because of
miserable
that
cards.
thing, you know, that what thing? The thing
You
we're
don't refer
talking
to-
about, you know, the thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
8 to the Bane is not going to help us here. And
to the Bane.
So I'm back.
Hey,
Fred, you're
Fred,
going to hate the
You're
fact
not
you're
going to
back.
want to
but
be
okay.
back.
Something was going
Roll
off the
space.
internet. It was
Alright.
like gone for like a little bit. I had no wireless. I had to go back in there and restart the machine in the garage.
It's well, that's sad. It's happened to me occasionally and I think everyone's router just goes bad occasionally. But Conrad, your card.
Breathe deep and consider the linear nature of time and how every death can be seen as space for birth, good and bad at the same time. We are all just cosmic dust. Fail and knocked unconscious, you will not escape if that result occurs, for the party, of course. You probably will be trampled to death soon by your mates. The abandon button will be pushed by everyone, I should mention, unless something very lucky happens. Not even sure that's possible. Roll on death of the character declaration now. Difficulty 11, advantage command proxy Stygian, which we do not have. I could click the command Spirit of Game command pip at level 5, but instead I will do a make roll.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Greg. I'm going to skip you. No offense. I'm going to catch back up with Fred. We each are going to take one more action on this table. Greg, unfortunately, since I skipped you, you get the unfortunate of being the last one. So if anyone actually fails rolls and results in bad events, they'll pile onto you, Greg, by sad coincidence. No one may make a make roll for this final action. I'm treating it as if it's the epilogue because it's 9 o'clock. Fred, here it comes for you. Inverted Martyr.
Do or die, baby.
Not for the game, but it could be. Let's see what it says. Here comes your post, Fred.
All right.
My internet just went down.
The multi-limb
anyone hear me?
mechanized gargoyle on a wild ride.
Yes, I hear you, Conrad.
Success and allow entire party to escape. Further battle, but everyone receives his own fishes. Maybe you want to fail this one, maybe you don't. Difficulty 4. Advantage skilled jetpack. So
Do you have jetpack skill, Fred?
Oh yes.
Okay, give me 2 dice or 3 dice for a 4, and all of us escape with a vicious wound. It's actually perfect that Fred is not the one that has to escape with a vicious wound because he already has one. And Fred has made the roll, and that's going to end the adventure for the evening. We escape from Bogus Blue.
We all took a vicious.
A place with a vicious, but you know what can you say? It's going to be we're going to continue the next campaign and start new when we come back in probably 2 or 3 weeks, and that ends the election time on Bogus Blue. Let's get one final check for all of us on the ignobles from that hideous table. I think beyond comprehension. Yeah, I think that's probably a good one to take. I am going to take adventure, and I think I already checked adventure. Let me see what I'm missing. Oh, publicity and fame, of course.
Growth
That you're going to hate freebooters. Growth. Explain growth.
I'm going to hate that table.
Yeah, I'm going to take adventure for that
I
one.
think that's pretty obvious, ain't it?
Adventure. That's fine, Greg. Conrad, I'll let you check growth in that if I ever use that table again, you're not going to be part of the group. You're only going to take actions for yourself, do or die. It's up to you.
Be separated from these jamokes. I think that's probably okay.
Okay, I'm probably not going to use that table much again. Usually that table is just one bad card. It's like if somebody puts themselves in a situation where they're away from the group, they've been maybe even disruptive for the referee. You can just put them on that table and sort of end their life for them. All right, guys, you defeated the freebooter that was trying to influence the election that was meaningless. It didn't understand that it was meaningless. Maybe he was fighting for the robots to have a chance to participate in a meaningless activity. Nothing is more human than participating in meaningless activities. And with that note, we don't want to be too political. We'll end it.